Good evening and welcome everyone again to tonight's official coverage of the ASRNZ 2024 GT3 Series Round 3. We are here for Round 3 at Valencia, ladies and gentlemen, and tonight, as usual, I have the OG himself, J-Man, and as well, we have a guest in the comms box tonight in Rusty Shackelford. Welcome aboard, boys.
Good evening.
Good to be here, isn't it, Rusty? Round 3, we're looking forward to this one.
Absolutely. On the shores of the Balearic Sea here on the east coast of Spain, in sunny Valencia, we're drinking cocktails with little umbrellas in them, watching these guys and girls throw these things around this track. It's going to be epic. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously just kicked off here, Davo, into this first of this tonight's qualifying sessions. Tonight's format is a sprint round. So tonight, key factors to think about for the sprint round is we do have 2 qualifying sessions, 2 40-minute races. Both races require a pit stop, mandatory pit stop with a 25-second time fuel stop. The big one for me, though, guys, is the 3 sets of tyres over effectively what is...
Four sessions?
4 sessions, or you could call it 6.
You could call it 6 sessions. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Rusty, you've just finished the driver briefing with the 30 cars out there, mate. But you get any response from the drivers, or was you all pretty quiet out there?
Yeah, it was all pretty quiet. They're pretty focused. It really does bring into, there's a lot of questions in regards to the tyre sets. How are people going to use them? How are you going to space them out? What strategies will you use? And I think maybe a lot of it, I think we'll see kind of uniform strategy in race 1, and then depending on how you go, you might change it for race 2, but it also might depend on how you qualify as well. Because if you have a bad qualifying, we've only got 10 minutes here and it's kind of hard to find space, especially with a field like we've got tonight, about 30, just under 30 or thereabouts. So some people might be missing out in qualifying, and do you risk another set of tyres? Do you take the 5-second hit and put on a fresh set at the end, during the race?
Yeah.
A lot of things to play out tonight.
Absolutely, mate. And yes, we have hit, I think, 30 on the grid tonight, Rusty there. So, yeah, welcome aboard, mate. And, it's going to be an epic race around Valencia here tonight. Awesome track, very flowy, a lot of switchbacks. But you sort of love it or you hate it, this place, don't you?
Oh, we love it. Anything to do with MotoGP, Davo, Rusty, I'm all about. So given the fact that there's names like Doohan and Nieto and of a couple of the big names out there, and then obviously Ricardo Tormo, this track is named after some 24 years ago. This place was opened and built in 1999, 4 kilometres, 14 turns. Some pretty good passing opportunities here. I think when we first initially went here, there was a lot of talk about it being a goat track with not a lot of opportunity, but we've since seen in multiple formats, GT4s and GT3s, that there's plenty of opportunity should you want to go and both hands go and grab it. So looking out there, big names to think about. Ethan Cowell, pretty much the top performer at the moment here at ASRNZ over the first 2 rounds, has banked a 31.257 on a fast track. So expect to see them go into the 30s in maybe Q2 when the track is probably a little bit more favourable. What say you? You're looking at the moment at the Rainlight Racing car of Steve Crossland out there, and where is he at? 7th position.
7th position with a 32.2, J-Man.
Right, so about a second off the pace.
And was up on his Delta, but not so much now. I think he might have just sneaked in a little bit of a truck infringement there. So Geordie Moss, another one to look out for tonight. J-Man 6/10 up on his Delta and sitting in 10th position provisionally. He's just about to come across the line here, so let's see what he can do with it with half a second. There you go, 4th position.
Yep, so heard earlier in the week, Rusty, I'm not sure whether you saw too much, but Mitch Campbell with the ability on a good track or on an optimum track to run in the 30s. What are you expecting out of...
Well, he's coming across the line.
The final 2 minutes.
Yeah, he and Ethan have been kind of going neck and neck. Mitch was a little unlucky in a couple of places, whereas Ethan's kind of had the gold run and he's been able to get wins back to back. That OES stable, not only are they very competitive with other drivers, but they're competitive within the team as well. So they'll be pushing each other on, and Mitch will be pushing him all the way.
Absolutely, absolutely. Quick mention to a couple of new entries, some late registrations for the series. Maddie T, we got her on camera now. Welcome, Madison. And T-Fam as well, J-Man. So a couple of new entries, and T-Fam sitting provisionally second at the moment. So these guys and girls have got some pace. There you go, Maddie T into fourth position, J-Man. So no slouch either of these two. So yeah, welcome aboard. Welcome to ASRNZ.
Bit of drama down here in pit lane, guys. I'm in the Stu Arrowsmith pit box, and they have been working on this car for at least 5 minutes. He has not left. This is a guy who's normally running in the top 5 or 6, currently sitting P15. Won't be going back out again today.
Oh, good call, Rusty. That's awesome stuff, mate, to just get an insight of what's actually happening down there on pit lane at the moment. So that's a little unexpected. We know the pace the 772 car's got as we ride down to the final 40 seconds. Where are we at, Davo?
Where are we at? Tony Spence. Is that a new one for us as well, J-Man? Not familiar with the name. Excuse me if that has slipped off my radar. But yeah, Tony Spence at the moment, holding down third provisionally, and he's got at least a second up his sleeve on his Delta as he comes towards the line, J-Man, which will put him, where's that? Well up, actually, into 16th. So nice work.
We saw Tony Spence do 2 of the 3 rounds in the Super Sprint the previous week, mate.
Yes. I thought I did recognise the name, but just wasn't familiar with the J-Man. But just riding with Ethan Cale now as the qualifying finishes up on his Delta, already in first position provisionally, and can't see that changing anytime soon, my friend.
No, Maddie T got about a tenth and a half on the Delta up her sleeve at the moment, so she's just going to bank a late one here as Mossy and Shane Fodderdo. So as Rusty mentioned, that OES stable super strong at the moment with the likes of Mitchie Campbell, Fodderdo and co. So Cale, there's plenty of quality coming out of there. However, plenty of quality coming out of the 777
boys as well.
So
so Geordie Moss, a couple of tenths up on his Delta there. J-Man puts him in fourth position, dropping Matty T down into fifth.
Yeah, Matty.
So nice.
Where is Maddie? Okay, so
Maddie's just on the borderline Delta-wise.
Yeah, and she's coming, looks like about to come through the switchback of 12.
Oh, yeah, just up into this final complex of corners here. And this just super awkward last turn here. Totally blind, tightening apex. You pretty well go into it and brake with no reference points.
It's a good run.
Yeah, she's on the button.
Here we go. Fifth position. I don't think she's going to make a gain there, J-Man. So nice work. That is a wrap for qualifying.
2-1 done, guys. So what a great result there for Ethan Cale on a 31-1 over T-Fam, who was in there a couple of tenths off the mark, and then Mitchie Campbell, Jordan Moss, Matty T, Lucas Shane Fodderdo, Aaron Enright, Nathan Henderson, and Ashton in the Aston. We love it. He finally, he rounds out the 10.
Yep.
Big names behind them, though, guys. The likes of Steve Crossland, John Carter. We know that John Carter's got pace when he turns up. The likes of, like you mentioned, Rusty, Stu Arrowsmith, Brad Robinson. Steve Melling's had the match fit car going really consistently this season. So got a couple of his old pals back.
We also got John McDonald and Steve Wilton down the back there as well, J-Man. So some, look, really consummate performers here. Big spread throughout the field. So it's looking to shape enough to be a cracking race. We do have the points up there, J-Man.
Yeah,
quickly as these boys just get set on grid.
Yeah, so starting at the top there, basically, once again, Ethan Cale up there at the top. Just all golds at the moment. He's just absolutely smashing it out the park at the moment over John Carter in second, Shane Fodderdo in third, Stu Arrowsmith, who we just talked about well down the field compared to his overall finishing position there. certainly keeping it inside the top six for the first 2 rounds. Mitchy Campbell in 5th, Jordan Moss in 6th. And then when we get to 7th, that's when we talk about Lucas Sarr and Steve Melling. I just mentioned the consistency of the Pro-Am, which is Steve Melling. And he is not far behind Lucas Sarr in 8th position. Aaron Enright back to the Pro class there in 9th overall. And then, how's this? The Neville Shields car in there, the AM class, Neville Shields, Philip Davilson, Phil Turner, that makes up your podium for the AM class, and they are 10, 11, 12 outright. So it just shows you how consistent you have to be in these series to be able to feature. So a lot of big names after that, and I mean a lot of statistical stuff that we'll be able to bounce back on throughout the race tonight. But look at those names there, the likes of Stu Arrowsmith holding down 4th outright, well down the field.
Yeah, well, tonight he is. That's right, J-Man. And look, a format tonight, a little bit different to last week. We had the super sprint with 3 qualifyings and 3 very short, quick fire races. Totally different animal here tonight, isn't it, with our just regular sprint race format?
Yeah, and I think it is, Rusty. You know, like that triple header format really was action-packed for us up here. And, you know, I think tonight, I think it's probably not going to be too much different, even though we're talking about 240s as opposed to the shorter 3-race format. I think the tyre factor and the mandatory pit fuel time tonight's going to play a big factor in the racing here.
Yeah, well, but I also think you've at least with a 40-minute race, you've got time to be patient. With the super sprint round, there's no time for patience. You cannot wait. You need to move. If you find yourself qualifying down the field, you've got to take places. You've only got 20 minutes. You know, you've only got, what, 10 laps? It was 10 laps or thereabouts per race. So there's not a lot of time to make moves. Whereas in a 40-minute race, you can find your groove, get your rhythm, get a little bit comfortable, find your place, and then work on it. And, you know, put in laps, do your laps, knock out your sectors, and then hope to come out on top at the end. It's maybe a little bit less chaotic, but, you know, as we all know here at ASRNZ, just because it's a 40-minute race, they're probably not going to take it easy. So we'll just have to wait and see, right? Interestingly, on Neville Shields, so you mentioned the AM battle in the championship. Well, Nev had a very disappointing, I don't think he got a time in, so he's starting from dead last on the grid here at this first race. So he's got a lot of work to do. Phil Turner up in P19, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so
correct.
a chance here for Phil to get a lot of points on his main rival in Nev Shields. And
with Nev in different disciplines, and I think he's going to be the big improver this year. You know, we saw the likes of Aaron Enright just break out last season, I believe. Enright broke out of the mould of that whole Pro-Am category and launched himself into the Pro class, and I feel like Nev Shields is going to be one to watch this year.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, well, definitely made a good showing last week, actually, in terrible conditions at Indy there, J-Man. It's really tough for the drivers. Some of the in-car stuff, it was just pretty well blind.
Lucas Sarr qualifying in P6 for the Pro-Am, another opportunity here for one of the lower classes to get a big points advantage on their rivals. Steve Melling, having raced against him for a few seasons now, myself being in the Pro-Am class when I do race, I can tell you that Steve-O is the guy who just shows up every week and performs. So watch for another one tonight.
You know it. As we're just about to go green, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us here for the 2024 ASRNZ GT3 series. It is a green light. And Ethan with the jump, as we'd expect. T-Bam holding a good, solid run against Mitch Campbell into this left-hander here. We've got Jordan Moss, Matty T, Lucas Sarr, Shane Frododo, J-Man. Some pretty tidy stuff. Right,
very tidy. Very, very tidy.
Very tidy start there. Ashton in the Aston, holding down 10th position.
Oh, it's just an absolute, just 30 cars out there, and there's still a lot of side-by-side stuff going on, guys. I'm just watching Ashton with, it looks like, is that Nathan Henderson on the inside, outside, because obviously the switchbacks.
Yeah, I think you're right there, J-Man. That's hanging around about 10th and 11th position, but yeah, a lot of side-by-side stuff there. You can see the Rainlight Racing bug from Steve Crossan just tucked in behind. Stu Arrowsmith qualified in 15th, sitting in 15th at the moment, just giving Crossan some heat. Their first lap, really tidy start with a big field here and an awkward sort of track to get going.
Awkward certainly for Nev Shields, guys. I'm not sure what you can bring us on that, if anything, Rusty, but Nev Shields into the pits.
He has not left pit lane.
Ouch.
Okay. So that is going to hurt big time of a guy that we just were talking about performing incredibly well. So did we put the triple commentator's curse on?
We may have. We may have, J-Man. We all propped him.
I might see if I can get a comment from him. I'll be back.
A copy.
Okay. Send the racing fidget down to the pits there.
Hopefully you get more than crickets.
We'll get more than crickets. John McDonald in the Warbird BMW, J-Man holding down 18th. Super tidy start, massive field of cars as you saw that train running down the start finish line. Steve Melling in 16th, representing the Matchfit boys with those couple ugly buds on the side, J-Man.
Yeah, look, and he's got it's
Arrowsmith,
Brad Robinson, and
it's Riley Price and Stu Arrowsmith in front of him, and Brad Robinson and John McDonald behind him. So he's got some work on his hands in the sandwich. Second lap here, and it's all going on. T-Fam with Mitch Campbell, I think, giving him all sorts of temperature too. J-Man, Jordan, the boss, Moss out the back there with Matty T. Wow, that is close stuff.
On Mossy. And a great start, as we mentioned earlier, from Lucas Saar. So Lucas Saar out there punching well above, and then Aaron Enright just up in front, and the Nespresso car just behind Shane Fodado. So there's plenty of action going on.
There is plenty going. We will get back to the Arrowsmith-Riley Price battle. Riley in, I think, the only Honda in the field. Nice work, Riley. Oh, a little bit loose out of the final corner, but look at that train of cars, J-Man, as they run down the start-finish straight. Everybody intact and pointing in the right direction, which is awesome. They continue to file through the last corner as we watch the Duff here. Oh, a couple of wide ones there.
Is
that John Carter?
I think it was.
Crossland in there now. Also, Tony Spence, J-Man. Is that Steve Wilton just tucked in behind him in one of the other match-fit BMW?
Yeah, Farmer's in there.
In the 43 car, yes.
Giving it heaps, and he's only got a couple of spots up the road to the Warbird of John McDonald, and there's only 2 more spots up the road to Stephen Melling. I spoke to these guys earlier off of Canberra, and they talked about a photo finish for those 2 Matchfit cars, so they'll be interested to see the progress of those 2 cars throughout the night.
Look, I tell you what, Steve-O's got his work on him. Oh, look, Brad Robinson.
Down the inside.
Yeah, Brad Robinson had a bit of a go at Stephen, had to prop.
And who's that? We've got the Martin's plastering car just gone around, and I believe that was at about turn 6, I believe.
Oh, let's see if we can get a replay on that one.
So just got a big hand to the opposite lock.
So down into 1 here, J-Man. I think, is that? No, it's not 1. No, it's
turn 6.
The Martinez.
Yep.
And down into this little flop. Oh, yeah, just gone in a little bit loose in the tail, J-Man. And that's enough. Ouchie, wowa.
He fired it down the inside and just couldn't gather it up, but no damage, didn't hit the wall, just ended up out on the kitty litter, Davo.
He'll be kicking himself for that one.
Yeah, it's going to cost him a lot. We just heard at the top end there that Rusty was talking about, you know, the attitude of what will be, you know, in a 40-minute race.
Look at the line of cars behind Fodado.
I need to grab Mr. Rusty.
What's up? Rusty's Run away, can't get back in.
We need to get, yeah. I'll grab him back. I'll grab him back.
But yeah, just looking out of the back of Shane Fudderdo's Nisbo here, and there's a train of 5 cars here. Aaron Enright, Lucas Saar, Nathan Henderson, Aston in the Aston, and look at him. It's like Shane's like the slow guy in the fast lane at the moment as it bunches up behind Moss.
Yep. You shouldn't have a problem, Rusty, there coming and going again. Hopefully I've sorted that for you. But anyway, what do you got to tell us? You got any info on the Neville Shields car?
Yeah, Neville Shields, a bit of hardware issue, apparently a bit of graphical issues, so unfortunately couldn't get out on track. And I just did hear some reports of a lag spike, which has knocked out Stu Arrowsmith from this race. So,
no!
He has gone to pits. And thanks for sorting out my security card clearance. I went down to the pits and I tried to get back in the box, and the security guard wouldn't let me in. So
the swipe didn't work.
The swipe didn't work, mate.
Yeah, he was probably scared you were going to eat the peanuts, but. Anyhow, I was just picking up. I'm not sure where you're at, David, but as you mentioned earlier, that T-Fan Mitchie Campbell battle.
Sorry to interrupt.
Was that unforced?
It looks like it. Let's get a replay on Moss.
Moss the boss does look unforced.
So yeah, the replay, just picking up on that now, guys. Round 1 looked pretty tight. He had a little bit of a gap on Enright and that group of cars behind him, but still always chasing Florido, and just wicks it up too heavy on the loud pedal. Gets a tank slap and he's in the wall. He'll have some damage from that, I'd expect, wouldn't he, Rusty?
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. That Porsche, it crumples like a tin can, doesn't it? So yeah, it's going to be disappointing for Mossy. That green stuff, when you get out there, you got to ease on the gas and just Porsche things, right? Just Porsche things.
The safety grass, as we like to call it up here.
Yeah, the safety grass. But it's very inviting down there at 1 between Aspar and Doohan, isn't it? Like the game invites you to use that safety grass, so to speak.
Yeah, but maybe not coming out of 2, which is.
Look at this pack, Davo. This Fodderdo, Enright, Saar, and then Hendo and Hughes in there. I tell you what, we know what happens here at ASRNZ with the racing. It's 31, just under 32 minutes to go. These guys go like this for the better part of the race, and they'll get to about anywhere between 3 and 6 minutes to go, and they'll just bunch that right up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have covered this yet, but we've had a few cars pit. We've had John Carter, Vaughan Martin, both in the pits, did not take tyres. Kenny Simpson with a 37-second stop. Phil Davidson must have picked up some damage along the way. 59-second stop for Phil. So
yeah,
again,
he's copped a drive-through for his time in there as well, Rusty.
Oh, there you go.
That's tough. So
Nev Shields working his way from the back. This is looking very good for Phil Turner at this point to pick up a lot of points in the AM Championship against his rivals.
As we just see Arrowsmith leave the pits, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he'll be a couple of laps down now.
Oh, definitely. Drive through, like I mentioned, for Phil Davison as well, as we can see clearly. But back to the Aaron Enright, Lucas Saar, Nathan Henderson battle, which continues up into this final complex of corners, down into the final quarter. Fudderdo able to just sneak away from that.
Campbell
a little.
In the pits.
Mitchie Campbell, that's from the top end. That's a big move. And Lucas Saar also mirroring Campbell on that one. So that's a strategy call, Rusty. Those guys wanting to get in and get out of traffic and get that done early. I'm a little bit surprised by the Mitchie Campbell one because he had cleared T-Fam and had clear air up the road up to Ethan Kale. So is he looking to get off that? Maybe. Well, he's not going to change the tyre. It's a 25-second fuel. Can they get a tyre in if they need to inside of that or not? Rusty,
no. 25 seconds will be your minimum fuel stop, and 30 seconds will be a tyre stop. Mitch Campbell he's been in the pits for a while now. We're up to 45 seconds by my count.
Okay.
And yeah, that is a long stop. That will feel like eternity, guys.
55 seconds for Mitch.
Yeah, well,
and still counting.
At a minute 31.3 lap to a 32, maybe 33 average here, he's going to have to be careful that he just doesn't by default go down a lap.
Could be looking at damage here.
Okay, so we might not have seen something there, and a very, very hot battle out on track at the moment between Brad Robertson and Steve Melling.
Lucas Sarr, 30-second stop. He has taken tyres.
Okay, so possible, I mean, let's talk about the temperature out there, guys. 29 degrees ambient with 36 track. You get these tyre pressures right, you could see these things inflating to plus 30 psi when optimum somewhere around that mid 26 and a half. So maybe some of these guys and girls out there have got those pressures wrong at the start of this race.
Yeah, very possible. And some cars like the Ferrari, say, for example, are known to shred around here as well. So I'd be looking for the Ferraris maybe to use those tyre stops. But again, it depends. Are you going to prioritise race 1 or race 2? You know, you're going to prioritise quali 1 or quali 2. How are you going to go about it? I was thinking about this during the week. What would I do? As a Pro-Am driver, someone who's not very good at qualifying, I would probably take the same set of quali tyres I would take set 1 for quali 1, start race 1 on the first set, and then maybe change to second set, then start quali 2 with the third set, and then use the kind of 2 quali tyres at the start of the last race. But that's, again, if you want to take them or not. Some guys probably, maybe they want to go the whole race without changing tyres and save that 5 seconds, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jordan Moss currently in the lane as well, and seems to have been in there a fair while. So I'm just wondering, I would have thought Mossy would have played a call of maybe just fuel only, but it looks maybe he's heading towards a tyre there, Rusty. But
he might be getting some damage repaired too. He's up to 30 seconds. No, it's a tyre stop only. No repairs for Mossy.
Okay. So Ethan Cale in the interim out there doing his thing, and out there currently with the fastest lap of the race, which is a 31.382. Last lap round was a 31.482, so a tenth off of his best. About to cross the line again just to see what his overall pace is running like. That one there was a 31.377, which takes the once again fastest lap of the race.
Interesting through the speed trap, guys. The honours are shared. Unsurprisingly, the Lexus, the great Lexus, is at 254 kilometres an hour. The equal fastest car through the speed trap is Steve Melling in the BMW, 254 clicks.
There you go.
Maybe running a low wing setup, who knows?
He's just got the rubber band wound really tight tonight. So.
Yeah, go the match. Tony Spence in the lane. So obviously every time we see these cars come in the lane, we're just continuously watching for that big red DT, because that is a common theme. If the guys and girls haven't practiced their pit stops, it's not that hard to get a drive through for speeding on the entry here, because obviously you come out of turn 14, slingshot it down the hill there, and then fire it into the lane pretty hard. So it's all about getting that car arrested down to 50k an hour. Now, big shout out to, I know there's plenty of people at the moment that have pitted in front of him, but I was watching Uncle Joe's progress here, and prior to the pit stops, he was certainly hovering around that 15-16 mark, and you know, we get to commentate Joe around the traps, and yeah, he's having a good drive tonight, Davo.
Yeah,
driving out of the AM class.
Out of the AM class. And another newcomer to ASR, J-Man. So
yeah,
awesome to see. Joe having a cracking race there.
During the week, Uncle Joe referred to himself as the grandfather of sim racing. Well, I mean, that just goes to show he's still got plenty of pep about him, doesn't he? He still goes all right, the old fella. So good on you, Joe. You're never too old, mate.
It's a pretty solid field, and he's sitting in 13th at the moment, so
absolutely,
it's not too bloody shabby.
So just looking across the board of best times, we obviously got certainly got the top 3 at the moment. The likes of Ethan Cale, T-Fan, Matty T, happy to bank 1 minute 31 second laps, and then you can move into this next bracket of 32s, and there's quite a number of drivers that can run 32s. There's probably a good 7 or 8 drivers pretty happy to run in the 32s, and then we drop to that sort of 34, 35 bracket, which is probably more leaning towards your AM class. So certainly the class racing here, the Pro-Am and AM class at its finest here tonight, but some out of position cars in effect because of the pit stop. So it'll be interesting to see how this shakes down, and as you guys both mentioned, some long pit stops there from some of our drivers. So potential easy 5 seconds to make up in pit lane if you should take fuel only and maybe make bank in this race 1 as opposed to race 2.
And a little mention too for John McDonald, who has been out real life racing over the last couple of weeks, so he missed the last round. He was out at Torpo. Is that how you pronounce it? Torpo? Torpo. And he's back this week, and I can tell you he's just started to dip into the 32s. He may not have got a lot of practice in this week, but we all know how good he is, multiple time champion here. I would expect by probably halfway through the second race tonight, he'll be right on the pace with the guys at the front, so he won't be too far away.
Yeah, good call. And Riley Price just making his way to the lane in that bright yellow Honda.
The Honda, yes.
The Honda.
Isn't it good to see a Honda back out in the field?
Oh, look, they fit right in at the retirement village, those things. They just,
easy to park.
Yeah, very easy to park. So, nice work. Anyone that can pedal a Honda quick, I tell you. So, yeah, nice work from Riley. In the pits, like you mentioned, J-Man, we are, sorry to interrupt, nearly halfway through.
Wow,
a little
just
over
like that.
23 minutes to go. So, yeah, smashing it out. Still a few guys to make pit stops, so watch this space.
Yeah, so just looking down through, Rusty, can you give us a bit of insight to maybe already just approaching the halfway? Who would be effectively the leading car in the pro class that's made his pit stop at the moment? Would it be fair to say it would be John Carter?
Yeah, John Carter's the leader of the pros in the cars that have stopped. Lucas Saar leading in your Pro-Am. Jordan Moss coming in next, followed by Vaughan Martin, and then Riley Price, who's just had a very tidy stop there and got out. So, yeah, John Carter, the leader of the pros, and I think he pitted from, what was it, about P13, P12 or thereabouts, so...
Yeah, I can tell you Riley Price has had a big whoopsie in the pit lane, and to get a stop go 30, you have to come in significantly faster than the requested 50.
No wonder it looked tidy then, because he was coming in at 200 clicks. So.
Yeah. So that's a big one. 30 seconds around here is,
it's a lot of time.
It's a third of a lap, so it's going to cost big time. So I was just going to mention the margin at the top since Mitchie pitted. I had seen it was 5-something plus seconds. It's now 4.8, and I was measuring the lap time between T-Fam and Ethan Cale, and he was 5/10 quicker than Ethan Cale the previous lap around. Not so much, only a couple of tenths in it this time. And who was that I just saw? Rusty got a drive-through. Who was that?
Oh, sorry to interrupt, guys. I think we just had a little bit of contact with Hickford and Hunter there.
Oh, the Grove car, yeah.
So they were actually chasing down Steve Wilton, actually coming across the start-finish line now as the replay picks up on Hunter and Hickford into one here. Oh, looks like the Ferrari might have missed its braking marker there. Possibly, yes.
Yeah, it was a funny one because he sent it down the inside and you almost thought it was going to come off.
Did.
Yep.
I think that one might be reviewed after the race.
Yeah,
quite
potential for that one for sure. As we see the Trek 31, the Nathan Henderson car, the OES Aston Martin come into the lane. So hopefully he's hit all the right numbers as he's crossed that control line. And we see Nev Shields and... Who is that in front of Nev Shields coming out?
That's the Mitch Campbell car still in there. There's actually there's a bit of a flurry of pit stops there going on at the moment, J-Man.
Campbell's been in the lane for 10 minutes, so he's not, I don't think he's coming back.
He's out. Grimmer in the lane, Mitchie Cole, Riley Price.
78 with obviously with a drive-through.
Yep, and Scotty Rivers.
I mean, you guys talk about this all the time. You're 1%ers. You've got to practice your pit entries.
Oh, it is.
Super critical. Who we got in car 78? What's the call there, guys?
That's Mitch Cole.
Mitch Cole. So did Mitch Cole got a drive-through penalty? Was that track infringement? Was that pit related?
No, he was just in the pit lane, so I'd suspect that was a pit infringement, J-Man.
We should make mention of the track cuts here, though. Very easy to get them because, like you mentioned before, the the cheating grass on the side. It's very tempting. It calls your name. It lures you in, and this track is one of those ones that makes you want to push. It tickles your thigh and says, "Come on, push,
come on,
go harder, tease me."
You know you can do it.
That's it. And you step 1 millimeter too far, and it slaps you in the face and brings you right back to reality.
Absolutely.
And says, "There's no cutting here, mate."
Yeah.
And just to mention, we must have lost Steve Grosslin.
717, J-Man, with a...
Yeah, you're right. I don't see Crossy on the totem pole.
Oh, that's a shame. So we've lost one to the internet gods. Don't always like to play ball, obviously.
Bad luck for Crossy because he had a similar incident last week, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
Shout out to Nathan Henderson, and the 31 OES car did get out in front of John Carter there, so that is your two leading cars running on track that have made their pit stop. So Hendo doing a good job in pit stop there, because I think that potentially was an undercut, maybe an overcut, maybe.
Yep. We've also got Ashton in the Aston, Brad Robinson, and we'll go Husey, and Brad Robinson also in the pits. John McDonald actually was in there as well.
Yep, so just leaving now.
Yeah, that battle we just talked about with Hendo and Carter, that's just coming up behind the OnlyFans car there and the PPR racing car of Husey as well. So I believe, I'm not sure.
It's an angry little pack. Oh, there's contact.
There's contact.
Where are we?
Henderson.
So that was, Henderson, Carter. And they potentially were getting blues, do you think? No, because if they haven't stopped, they will not be getting blues.
Correct.
So
I think that was all for position.
So just picking it up on the replay there, guys.
Hendo might have got the worst cop out of this as we just watched the replay.
Not over either. Mossy's now joining this pack as well.
Yeah, Mossy's right in there.
Oh yeah, just a little bit of slip up from the, I think it was the OnlyFans Ferrari there, unforced error. And
got a little crossed up.
Yeah, just got a little bit crossed up, come across the track. Hendo nowhere to go, unfortunately.
No, and then Hendo actually had to sit there, wait for a bit of clear track and just make sure his re-entry was good. So as you mentioned, Rusty, though, looking at the battle at the moment, Davo, I'm not sure whether you're seeing that Lucas Saar, John Carter and Mossy is heating right up. Now, is Lucas Saar made a stop?
Saar has, yes. All these guys have stopped. They've all taken their stops. So
yeah, so
it's all to the end.
And obviously, Mossy recovering from a little bit of an off-track excursion earlier in the race. So he'll have the eyes on and definitely focused on the back of John Carter's Lamborghini at the moment.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job too, because that's a damaged Porsche. We know his stop didn't allow for any repairs, so it must be a little bit of side damage. Hopefully his aero's still okay. But yeah, he's doing well with a damaged car there.
And obviously Lucas performing well tonight in the Golf livery inspired McLaren there. So yeah, looking really hot and a very speedy looking car that tonight.
Yeah, only a handful of drivers yet to stop. Shane Fodderdo yet to stop. Phil Turner, Steve Wilton and Zach Hickford yet to stop, and those are the only cars still out there.
So when we talk about Lucas Saar,
okay,
now
so,
Luke,
sorry, Riley Price back into the pits, gentlemen.
Was that to clear that stop go 30?
Oh, it seems like it's the third time I've seen that car.
I think he had a stop go 30 and then he got a drive through after that, if I'm not mistaken.
So not ideal, as we will just pick back up on this Lucas Saar, John Carter battle with Carter really starting to apply the pressure.
Yeah, and this is Lucas Saar racing out of the Pro-Am.
Oh, Saar, he's off.
Oh, he's got that wrong. We've cursed him again. It's like
the Bermuda Triangle.
It's like the triple. Yeah, it's the triangle of power.
They all disappear.
Shane Fodderdo in the lane.
We will pick up on this replay, ladies and gentlemen, as we see Lucas with Carter, John Carter, hot in tow, Jordan Moss behind. Into one here. Lucas tips the McLaren in. Little bit of too much gas on the safety grass. And that's all she wrote. He's around, backs into the fence, not too hard. And surely he'll have a little bit of damage from that, guys.
You would think.
Yeah, and that McLaren, similar to Porsche, it crumples. It does not like any contact, front or back. And I can tell you now, Moss the boss is applying all sorts of pressure on John Carter. Picking up the pieces.
So Phil Turner and Steve Wilton out there playing the long game in this one, prepared to run this tyre ride out for as long as they possibly can by the look of it. Now, Wilton's tucked in behind TFAM here and was actually faking to the inside to look for a pass. So that's an interesting play there.
Yeah, well, I don't think Wilton's pitted yet either, J-Man. So
No.
He's out of position, really, isn't he?
He is out of position as Fodderdo just comes out the lane, runs it incredibly wide as he comes out the lane as well. So, yeah, you're right. Be interesting to see. You know, we talk about strategies at the start of the broadcast, and you know the likelihood that some people will certainly spend their credit this one and some won't. So we've already seen drivers that have been in for a period of time, as we just see. We're just picking up on the pace of the Nespresso car, Davo, all over the back of Shane Fodderdo.
Yeah, so really Gade, on the back of the Datsun there, J-Man, and really starting to show some intent. Enright's car looks like it's got plenty more than the Nismo at the moment. So,
I tell you what, these cars that have stayed out long, Wilton in the BMW. See, the BMW is generally pretty good on its tyres. It doesn't shred them up as much as, say, the Porsche or the Ferrari do. And I just wonder if he's just thinking, well, I'll just keep going, because what we've seen so far is the guys who have taken early stops, they've found themselves in traffic. And traffic has caused problems. He's had a clean run, Wilton. He's just been putting in his laps, putting in his sectors. Phil Turner's now in the pits, boys, leading the AM driver.
Yep. Great run from Phil Turner. Another driver in the Iron Brew running out of, I still believe, running out of the OES stable, is he?
Correct, yes.
Yep. So great run from Phil. We saw that car qualify 19th and very, very quickly at the start of that race end up somewhere around that 14th, 15th position. So look to see for Phil coming out in a strong position here, cement this really good opening start to this round 3. Steve Wilton.
Oh, it's a long stop for Phil. He's up to 33 seconds, 35 seconds.
Taking a tyre, you think, and maybe a little bit of damage?
Might be a little bit of damage repaired. Forgot to uncheck the repair damage.
Yep, there he goes.
39-second stop.
Passes the Mitchie Campbell car, and I'll tell you what, Mitchie's going to rue this one after...
So Kenny Simpson, Glenn, Kenny Simpson's coming down the straight, so he's the main threat to Phil Turner now.
Okay.
Phil Turner just leaving pit lane. He's out, he's clean, he's clear, he's done well.
So likely in a very, very good battle. Now, what do we know about that, Rusty, as far as their overall points position? Phil Turner is currently P3 in the championship, and Kenny Simpson's currently P4 in the AM championship. So that is a battle out on track for overall honours.
There you go. Yeah, Kenny was very unlucky last week. I don't know if you remember. Kenny had 2 qualies in the top 10 as an AM, which is unheard of, but was just very unlucky with incidents in that inclement weather. And didn't really capitalise on the quali. There's nothing worse than that when you quali well and don't get it done in the race. So he's making up for it tonight.
Yeah, big net gain to Ethan Carl throughout that pit stop phase there over TFAM. I mentioned the 4.8 second margin prior to the pit stops is now blowing out to about 9.9 potentially. It is actually 10.3 now. So yeah, certainly a net gain to Ethan Carl, just doing nothing wrong so far in the series. Got 5 from 5 as far as the race is concerned, but 2 clean sweeps of 2 rounds with poles in there as well. So Mitchie Campbell grabbed a couple of poles, but just not been able to deliver in the races so far.
Yeah, special mention to Matty T as well. First time here in ASRNZ. Welcome aboard, Matty. Running in P3. A podium's on the cards here, so a great way to start your ASRNZ career.
TFAM as well there, Rusty, in second position now.
And we are so used to seeing these two out on track together, aren't we, Davo?
Oh, definitely, and very equally paced, these two. So, yeah, no surprise. Just a little bit, maybe up the ladder a little bit to what we're used to, J-Man. Just focusing on Ethan Cale now. Totally dominant, very wide through one there.
Yeah, with the big invitation to do so, given the fact that they do not get a track cut out there. I can tell you the Delta is good, so Ethan, pretty smart racer, knows exactly how much to take and not to take in that Lamborghini, and out there just absolutely punching the numbers. As we mentioned earlier, 31.377, quickest lap of the race.
And I tell you, the OES stable don't give you a break, do they? Because at the start of this season, when everyone found out that Vic Chan was going to be running a limited program this year, I guarantee you 90% of the pros threw their arms up in celebration. And in comes Ethan Cale.
Yeah.
He says, "Thank you, Vic, I'll take it."
Oh, the list is long. Mitchie Campbell, bloody John Carter.
It's endless.
Shane Fotterdo. I mean, it's, 777's pretty similar as well. Any one of the 777 team can stand up and deliver. But OES certainly strong at the moment. And, this sprint format for the likes of the OES drivers is probably pretty easy for them, as they do definitely excel at some of the enduro stuff as well.
Yeah, they're just an all-round good team, and there's no weaknesses. Whatever class they're running in, they're usually running at the front, so they pick them well, they train them well, and they perform.
Mr. Maverick tuning in live on the chat. Good to see you there, mate. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast. We're having a blast up here. Great field. We've had a couple of dropouts, however. Started this one with 30. I believe we've got 28 running live, so still going well, with another qualifying session after this, final 8 minutes of this one, and then another race. So plenty to happen here tonight, as we do see. Is that Jordan Moss on the back of John Carter? Is it, Davo?
He's been hounding him for about 4 or 5 laps now.
Oh, I think and some, Rusty, they're probably about 10, pretty well since Geordie's got that thing pointing back in the right direction and out of the pits. These guys have been inseparable, and it's sort of a little bit of a to and fro throughout the lap. But look, ultimately, I think the Porsche is actually coming on strong towards the end of the race here, with only a little over 7 minutes to go, guys, and really starting to put the pressure on now.
Have we suspected that Porsche, Rusty, took tyres?
Well, I can tell you a little bit of insight into Moss and that Porsche. He'll tell you that unlike some other cars, the Porsche tends to get a second life out of its tyres. So it will drop. It has an initial window where the tyres are strong, and then it drops off quite quick. But Moss, stands by the fact that he says if he keeps on them and he keeps driving them, they will come back to him.
It comes back to him, and I think that's what we're seeing right there now. Look how strong that thing looks against the Lamborghini now, as we wind down towards the last 5 minutes of the race. Guys,
the Lambo looks a little loose.
He's got runnable. Here we go on the inside.
Yeah, fired down the inside, down to 14.
Oh, he's got the inside, side by
side. A little bit of space.
Good driving from both drivers.
Oh, definitely Carter. Just sort of held it there. Is he going to stay there? He goes, oh, damn, he's staying there. So he gave him the room.
Another good battle going on just behind these guys between Lucas Saar, Vaughan Martin and Brad Robinson. So that's a good recovery from Vaughan Martin after we saw that unforced spin down at turn 6 or 7, I believe it was. Oh, sorry, it was in between 8 and 9. Martinez, yes.
Yeah, little quiet achiever tonight, Vaughnie, running in P11, doing very well.
Definitely, that's a nice, tidy little group of cars that are sort of hung together and rounded out by Melling there. So that's Melling, Brad Robinson, Vaughan Martin and Lucas Saar. So those guys are pretty close there. I think we got one, I think it's the Grove Porsche that might be out of position there, mixed in amongst it. But good little group of cars. It looks like Steve-O just getting around that lap car now. And in the background, you can just see in shot, I think that was the Riley Price Honda.
Yeah, with
starting
Mitchell
to sneak up
Cole and
behind.
Phil Davison just
Yeah.
tucked in behind them also, Davo. So, yeah, that you did pick up on that. That was the Sean Hunter 23 Grove Porsche there. Beautifully presented car, that one. Bit of a fan. Don't mind that.
So Wilton is still yet to pitch. Here we go. There he is. He's in the lane.
In the lane. Can he arrest the speed? Oh, well and truly early. Down to 43k an hour, probably 3-4 metres before the line. So playing safe mode is Steve Wilton there.
Oh, look, and what a smashing looking car that is, J-Man.
Gee, the front of that Beamer looks a little banged up. I feel like he's had a little bit of nudging going on during the race. I wonder if he's unchecked repair damage, because we've seen a couple of drivers get caught out by that so far.
Maybe he was just adjusting the aero, you know, like as required, you know, like. But either way, yeah, a little bit of damage on that. But Wilton now, final car to pit, I think, guys. So
yeah, 100%. And the guys on the side of it can be a little bit banged up on a Friday morning, I might add too.
You know that. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah.
So Lucas
no tyres for Steve, by the way. No tyres for Wilton. He's out.
Well, 3.5 minutes to go. Oh, just over. Why bother?
Yeah.
Lucas got Brad Robinson on the back. J-Man.
Yeah, he has, and Hughesy's got
on Enright, yeah,
on Enright as well. So that's heating up, and that's Fodeno just up off into the distance in the Danarang. So plenty to play for there. But as you mentioned, yeah, Brad Robinson, Lucas that one there, I think is going to go down to the wire. We've seen some pretty good photo finishes of late.
And Lucas, you know, he's not easy to pass. He defends strongly, he defends aggressively, so Brad's going to have to pick his moment here. He's only got a couple of laps up his sleeve, but I reckon you want to wind up that Merc down this straight here and try and get him into turn one. But then, as we know, the Macca is so good in those fast turns, so you've really got to be up alongside him if you want to pull it off.
Grove Porsche down the inside on, who's that? Riley Price, but it's a horsepower race down the front straight there in the back of shot. And the Honda had the measure.
Cole with a drive-through.
Oh, that'll be track limits, do you think?
Yeah, it must be. He stopped a while ago.
Scotty Rivers with a drive-through as well. So late in the piece here, 2.5 minutes to go. The driver's just starting to run out of freebies as far as track limits, guys.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, very easy to do here. The track cuts are very tempting here at Valencia.
Yeah, it just begs you to get out there, doesn't it? Like you were mentioning before, Rusty, just like, oh, look, there's just a little bit of safety grass out here. Come on, you know you want it. And all of a sudden, you're trundling down the pit lane.
Exactly.
As we look out at the back of Lucas Saar's McLaren there, spitting fire.
Big flames.
Big flames at the Mercedes for Brad Robinson. It's going to go down to the wire here. These guys are probably going to get another 2 laps here. With
nice apex from Brad Robinson there in turn 14. He made the apex beautifully.
Has the Merc, that big motor out the front, got the punch? Yes, it does, but too little too late, into one, and Lucas with a very measured race tonight here, guys.
Yeah, he's just got to keep it clean, especially through this kind of windy stuff. It's going to be difficult for Brad to get that Merc up alongside him through these sectors. I think Brad's best chance is, you know, down the chute, but then again, when you get to that turn one's so fast here at Valencia, the Macca can carry so much more speed than that Merc can around that corner, so it's very tricky here for Brad.
Yeah,
he's going to be looking for a mistake, I think.
Yeah, I think to be keeping the pressure on, probably a pressure point would be certainly coming up through 12, the little dogleg switchback right before the sweeping 13, just to keep the pressure on there as they come up the hill and maybe force Lucas Saar into...
he's showing the nose.
Yeah, he is showing the nose.
It's getting very close. The time is winding down.
Leader on the final lap.
There's a lot of pressure on here. I think this is the spot. Heaps of pressure on. Make that McLaren run wide.
Hey, look, and either way, class drive from both of these guys to put themselves where they are at the moment.
And look up the inside here. He goes to the outside.
Looking for the crossback, I reckon.
There it is.
There he goes.
Called it there, Rusty. What's the horsepower?
And the McLaren, Lucas might have just dropped him on the apex just to slow that Merc. But look at the grunt. And he's out into one. But pulls back smartly.
He does.
Into two. Has he just like, there's so many corners left on this track, so many opportunities left.
Lucas is doing a really good job here as a
amazing.
Pro-Am driver. It's not easy in this situation. You've got the pro right behind you. He's putting the pressure on. He's showing the nose. You've just got to stare ahead. You know, I know it's a cliche. Just got to look forward, run your lines, you know, hit your braking markers and make him do all the work behind you. And he's doing a fantastic job.
Shout out to Ethan Cowell, just about to cross the line to wrap this one up. This will be another great victory for Ethan Cowell.
As is T-Fam, J-Man and Matty T coming out of the final corner at the moment. Shane Fudado a little bit behind. We will pick back up on Lucas Saab battle, ladies and gentlemen, as the rest of the field.
Yeah, Mossy's still glued to the back of Aaron Enright.
Vaughan Martin with a drive-through on the last lap.
Oh, that is going to be a killer. That is going to drop him down.
Because he was in battle with Steve Melling. He was in there. Oh, here we go. The Merc. Look at the grunt. Look at the grunt.
He's tucked right underneath the 0.067 is the official margin. So very, very good race from those two there.
So Brad Roberts rounding out the top 10 there. A cracking finish. Lucas Saab.
Yeah, and the officials have called that plus 30 seconds for that late drive-through for Vaughan Martin. Not being able to serve that effectively is just warranted a 30 seconds. So that will do big things for Vaughan Martin's finishing position.
All right, guys, I'll let you handle the podium chat. I'll go down and have a little quick debrief with the field. See you for race 2, eh?
Awesome.
Copy, Rusty. Great
Thanks,
call,
Rusty.
mate.
J-Man, what a cracking finish there. Brad Robinson v. Lucas. Nothing we wouldn't expect from the boys here at ASRNZ. And obviously, they always like to ramp it up right at the end. But cracking race, Valencia. Who have we got first up? I think it is Matty T.
First up, welcome to ASRNZ, Madison T. You got us on comms, Matty?
Yeah, I got you guys. Thanks for welcome.
Nice to hear a familiar voice. And congratulations. First time up, mate. And you make a podium and convincingly too, Matty. Well done. Saw some great early pace in the official practice. Tell us how that was for you first time up.
Yeah, it was good fun. I didn't quite have the pace to chase down Fam, unfortunately. I don't know where he pulled that from. But yeah, early pace was pretty good. I think tire wear was coming in towards the end because the track was so damn hot. But yeah, just clean, fun.
Yeah, good stuff. Good to see you over here, Matty. And to come out there and make a statement and just show these boys, the girls are doing it in the esports now, mate. And look out, you girls are here to play. And what a great result.
Thanks, guys. Just want to quickly call out Fam for saying he was going to be at the back this race. So thanks for letting him know.
We'll remind him of that when we just bring him up here from P2. So well done, Matty.
Guys.
Hope to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, see you guys.
See ya. So there you go, Matty T doing the business, making the podium first time up, and we will grab Mr. T Fam. We have spoken to this guy previously elsewhere, and it'd be good to get him back in channel. T Fam, you got us? Got a comms with us, T Fam? Are we just doing a couple?
At the T Fam.
Yeah, might be doing a couple of promotional things here. First time out here at ASRNZ and goes and grabs a top 3 with a second position. T-Fam, mate, what a great result. We hear you were sandbagging, but anyway, hopefully you can pick us up on comms. All right, we might come back to T-Fam.
Okay, and who else would be on the top of the spot there, J-Man? But
Yeah, the guy that's embroidered his name on the number 1 podium chair at the moment is Ethan Coe. You got us on comms, mate?
Yeah, hey boys.
Mate, I hope OES is paying you plenty because you're out there punching the numbers and just banking these gold trophies, mate. How was that?
Does Fiona get paid? I'm not too sure. Nah, tough actually. Oh, my calf's in the bin.
Right.
My foot kept slipping up the gas pedal, so it's been seizing for about 35 minutes. So I'm just stretching it now.
Oh, okay. So yeah, okay. A little bit of stress out there for that one. You
Yeah, no,
normally
it's shocking.
like you're doing it easy, but
do some
not at all.
Star jumps.
Yeah, that'll just make a pop, won't it?
But hey, no, look, stunning qualifying, and then to bank that 31.377 out there in the race, a very, very good race time. Scorching conditions. Can you talk to us a little bit about the tyre dig out there, Ethan?
Yeah, it seems like it was pretty bad. I just had a look at the wear just then. I wasn't really pushing for much of it. I was just making sure the tyres would be all right. So, look, I finished quite a fair way in front of Fami and Maddie. So, I'll take it. A bit of a shame about Mitchie disconnecting again because I was looking forward to that battle. But yeah, look, it getting a bit hairy, but I've got a way to combat that, so not a problem.
What, just less brake, or just going to use the other foot?
Traction control, mate. Traction control. Your best friend.
Yeah, nice. No, good work, mate. Hey, once again, you know, top end of the broadcast, we touched on the points, and you know, nothing but gold at the top, mate. So keep that run going because that's an impressive feat. And you know, because there's plenty of competition out there, and it seems like it's increasing week to week. 30 cars initially out on grid, mate. So anytime you can go the top step with 30 cars is a good night. So,
yeah, mate. Look, we'll see how we go this time. So hopefully the calf holds up and go from there.
Awesome.
Yep. And was there much to consider during those pit stops there, Ethan, about the consideration about maybe going that extra 5 seconds and grabbing a tyre, or just running the situation where you just sort of pre-forecast the tyres out for the night and you're going to run what you got?
Yeah, no, I wasn't changing the strategy, mate.
Cool,
All was
mate.
good. There we go. We'll see how we go.
Awesome.
Okay, mate. Best of luck. Good one, mate.
Thanks, boys.
So there you go.
Thanks, Ethan. Ethan
That's Ethan.
Kale.
We might
ladies
just
and
quickly
gentlemen.
see if we can just get a quick shout out from
the
T-Fat.
fan man.
Yeah, we'll we'll give it one more go and see if we can grab him, because he does deserve his couple of seconds of fame in the hot box. You got us on comms, T-Fam?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, mate, we have got you. Look, we tried to jag up there. First and foremost, welcome to ASRNZ, and what a way to do it, mate, with a second position, first time out. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
How was the tyre dig out there, mate? It's pretty hot.
Oh, it actually felt all right. Hey, I actually haven't checked my tires, but I dialed down on my toes and stuff and made some last minute changes. I think it worked out great.
Yeah,
the car was fine throughout the whole race.
And quick shout out, Matty was questioning the sandbagging, said that you were going to finish. Talk about you finishing it.
To be honest, we had no idea. We just stepped in and we had no idea where we would sit, but just based off my result on rain lights, which is just pro am, so I just self-assigned pro am and see where I get. But
you got to be happy with that. You sound happy.
Yeah. Have something to say about that classification there, T-Fan.
Yeah, mate.
You might be moving up the ranks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, pretty happy. Haven't had a good race for weeks now, so from rain lights and for other leagues. So yeah, pretty happy with this result.
Yeah, well, look, mate, we're used to seeing you out there running somewhere with Matty quite often, and I think if we threw in a couple other names, if Hendo was up there and maybe Pete Dawson was in there, we would think we're somewhere else. But hey, congratulations on that, and hopefully you've got your strategy locked in for the next one.
Yep, it'll be just luck-based strategy.
Awesome. Whatever it takes, Steve.
Yeah.
All the best, T-Fam.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
See ya.
There you have it there. That is your podium for race 1, round 3, Davo.
Yes, awesome work from the top 3 and everybody throughout the field. Good, clean start with a big field there, J-Man. We're going to have a quick, very, very short intermission, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. Plenty to come. Welcome back everybody to Q2 in the 2024 ASRNZ GT3 series. It's round 3. We're at Valencia. I am joined by J-Man and special guest Rusty Shackelford tonight. Boys, welcome back to Q2 here at Valencia for race 2.
Thanks, Papa. I can tell you, in between when you were discussing with the podium, I jumped down and jumped into the paddock, had a quick chat with a couple of the drivers, so I can report a couple of things for you. Unfortunately, Crossy has dropped out. We think it may be internet related, but I can report that there have been some lag spikes tonight on the server,
yes.
which has caused a little bit of chaos. We're hoping, fingers crossed, that race 2 goes without a hitch. The other interesting bit of gossip I can give you is Ethan Cale, our race 1 winner, is currently testing different racing socks. He's testing different socks in between races, yes, because he said he's never had a gas pedal that's been so slippery. So he's trying to find the right sock pedal combination in order to maximise his speed.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the hot news off the press right there. Thanks, Rusty, for that. Look, when it comes to the goss, Rusty's the man.
Yeah, well, that combined with the cramps that he's getting, I wonder if the socks are playing a big part in the cramps that he said he was getting. Was he say he was getting cramp in his calf muscles or something?
Yeah, look, I'm just down here now in Ethan's pit box, and I can tell you that the engineers are running through the soft compound sock, the medium compound, and the hard compound, which they call the S5. And they're just running a little bit of testing here to see what kind of deg they're getting on the ball of the sock.
Yep.
And on the heel, especially.
The heel. That's critical.
Think the heel is, yeah, that's right. They think the heel is wearing faster than the ball, and they're just trying to balance that up a little bit. So back to you in the box.
Good work. And we do have confirmation too that, Mitchie Campbell had an internet dropout, and that was what cost him that. Although I believe we have just lost him again.
Oh,
so
we have too, actually. I just went to pick him up on camera there, J-Man, and it disappeared as quick as I could get onto.
So I'm not sure if we can get an NBN sponsor on that car, because that's cost them a couple of weeks in a row now.
Definitely, J-Man. We just pick up on the Warbird BMW of John McDonald, number 27. Fantastic looking car. Provisionally 11th with only a little over 5 minutes to go in qualifying, J-Man. Who else is on your radar at the moment? Nathan Henderson is on mine at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you who's on mine, and it's Matty T punching a 30.8.
Absolutely.
Wow.
A 30.8. Obviously, we mentioned at the start of the broadcast that we'd have more favourable conditions for Q2. Obviously, we've got a few less tyres in the bank for the drivers tonight by the time we get to Q2, but you can bet your bottom dollar that all of these drivers will be saving a good set for these qualies. But yeah, she is doing a great job out there on a 30.8. So expect Ethan Cale and T-Fam to both deliver something within the next 2 laps or the next just under 5 minutes to try and challenge that.
Definitely. Geordie, the boss, up 7/10 and he runs across the line. This will pop him up into 4th position provisionally, guys. So nice work. Let's hope Mitch Campbell gets back into the server, guys. Super quick tonight.
He's on track now.
Excellent. Ethan Cale cycling up with the new S5 apparel, the sock. So let's see what he can do. Oh, he's got a few tenths up his sleeve. Well,
yeah,
again,
this must be the super soft sock because he is on the can.
The triple S, the super soft sock, the super
But it's the super soft sock will probably get you a good grip for a lap or two, but you wouldn't want to run it in the race, would you? I don't think it's going to last.
Hendo on the gas as well, looking to just pump into the 31s on this next lap as he rounds out turn 13, heading
John
down
Carter up
to
6
14.
tenths, 5 tenths.
Oh, yes. Yep, and we know the pace that... Oh, a big lose for John Carter. What turn was that? That was down into turn 6.
Oh,
big
the
lose for
commentator's
Carter.
triangle strikes again.
Yeah, he will root the call that you just made on him there. Oh, and the Steve Wilton BMW, exactly the same incident, same corner, just straight after it, put it in the fence as well.
Out, so no doubt. Well, you can clearly see the boys.
Cale responds with the super soft socks up to 30.6, takes that away from Matty T, Davo.
Well, we would have expected that. Mitch Campbell on track at the moment, a second up on his time, which would put him, well, it's probably going to just keep him where he is. He needs more than that. He is getting more than that already. That would put him in 2nd position if he can keep that up.
And during the briefing tonight, our newcomer drivers, the likes of Matty T and T-Fam, would have learnt about the ASRNZ qualifying format that should you escape to pits, that you're qualifying over. And I have seen Matty escape to pits with just under 3 minutes to go. And T-Fam, I believe I saw, yes, escape to pits as well. So that renders their qualifying done. So are they running out of tyres, or are they just happy with the lap? I mean, at a 30.8, I'd be happy.
I don't know if I'm getting some dodgy data here, but it looks to me like Mitch Campbell's Delta is screaming.
That's crazy.
Surely can't be.
It can't be right.
No, it won't be right. This will be based on the fact that that is now recording from an out lap versus...
yes, of course.
Versus the initial hot lap. And, yeah, so... This is what happens when you reconnect. Mitchie well wide of the mark at turn 14. That's going to do nothing for the Delta out of the final corner. But I believe he's probably going to bank another good 31. 31.7 that time round, guys.
Yeah, but surely it would have compromised his run out of the final corner too, and which is obviously ultimate is top speed in the speed trap, Rusty.
In the speed trap, yeah, good question. Let's have a look here. The top, Stu Arrowsmith, the Lexus.
Lexus again. Yep.
It's a beast down the straight. I'm telling you, this thing. It is an absolute weapon. Top of the speed trap. The slowest car through the speed trap, I'm just having a look here, we have at 245 clicks. It is the Macca.
Okay, I was going to say, please don't tell me it's the Datsun, because we're so used to the Datsun being so fast. But Shane Fodderdo doing a pretty good job there. P8 at the moment, was carrying a fair bit on the Delta. Just lost a little bit as he enters down into Martinez into turn 8.
Very tricky little, again, blind braking area, and very, very much a tightening apex into that little switchback hairpin there. So very tricky. There's quite a few of these corners here at Valencia. It really does lift the technicality of the track as we see Fodderdo up over the brow of the hill, down into the final corner here. Again, very blind and tight.
John Carter up 4/10 on his lap. That would push him right up the order.
Mitchy Campbell's going to bank a lap that's going to challenge for the front row. Not quite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woody Moss also up on his time there. That might sneak him up one position above TFAM, actually. Oh, into third position for Jordan Moss.
31.155. That's a great lap.
Mitch Campbell still on track. Jordan Moss still on track.
2 seconds to go. You pretty much can say that everybody else, that's it. This is their last lap.
Yep. So Fodderdo with a couple of tenths here and there around the track at twos and fro's. It's a tenth here, and then it's 2 tenths there.
Campbell 3 tenths up.
Campbell with a good. He's got a fistful of tenths there, hasn't he? And he's looking to make it happen. Geordie Moss actually too, looking strong and showing green on our deltas here. All three of us clearly looking at the same thing. This is going to come down to the wire. Mitch Campbell, Jordan Moss,
Campbell's pushing P1 here. He is pushing P1. He is 5 tenths up.
Yeah, wow. I think we've still got a bit of an unrealistic delta here, guys, because I think this is probably at best, based on what I saw in the last one at a 31.5 and he was up, I think this is probably looking like a 30.8, 30.9.
Let's have a look.
This looks hot on mine.
Well, good call, Glenn. Good call.
Yeah, I just measured off the previous delta, mate, and it was that yeah, like I said. Now, something interesting there as we just wind this one up, I believe that's everyone done. So well done again to Ethan Cowell. Mitchy Campbell does not. Matty T, as we mentioned earlier, off that front row. Now, Mitchy Campbell, probably there's not too much argument about Mitchy coming back in here. He did not complete any of that first race, so I don't think tyres would have been much conversation for the stewards here because he didn't use anything in the first one, but certainly got a couple of fresh sets for this final race in qualifying. Okay, so Matty T, P3, Jordan Moss 4, T-Fam. Usual offenders up the top here, guys. T-Fam 5th, Hendo 6th. Lucas Saar, this is a Pro-Am driver we mentioned earlier, punching well above there in P7, Shane Fodder 8th, Brad Robinson 9th, and John Carter 10th. So top 10, pretty tough field here tonight, guys.
Yeah, Lucas Saar following up. He was P6 in race 1, P7 in race 2, finished top 10. He is banking a lot of Pro-Am points here tonight. Also, I just want to mention Phil Davidson, top qualifier in the AM class. Phil Turner is down P5 in the AM class after qualifying. So after that good performance in race 1, Phil, as you remember, I think he had a drive-through in race 1, so he's looking to improve. And Nev Shields, who missed race 1 entirely, who I think before the round, wasn't he leading the the AM class, Nev Shields? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he was up the top. So yeah, he missed race 1.
Nev Shields was, in there on a 160 points. Over Philip Davison on 150, so 10-point swing there, and obviously, I guess with the absence of Bear Grylls here, Yeah, so Turner looking to, yeah, okay, so Turner, so that's a flip around because as you mentioned, so Phil Davison qualified P18 there. Now, Phil Turner in race 1 qualified 19th. Okay, so that's a flip around because we did see a little bit mixed bag results for Davison in that first one. So be interested to see how this one shakes out in the points next week, guys.
Yeah, entirely. And Nev looking to obviously make up for that missing race one. He'll be trying to get as many points on his AM competitors as he can. So he's qualified P2 in the AM class. So well done, Nev.
Yeah, 100%. So where did that see this time around? Rusty, where are you seeing Stu Aerosmith in the grid here for this one?
P14 for Stu Aerosmith this time around, just behind John McDonald. So I knew it wouldn't take JB long to get kind of in the groove and find pace. So there he is. He'll be knocking down the door of the top 10 this race, I guarantee it.
Yeah, good qualifying for Vaughan Martin too. Also, I think Steve Melling, great qualifying. So he's just in behind Stu Aerosmith there, 15th. So the ever consistent Steve Melling in the other match fit car, and just looking for the second match fit car, that's Steve Wilton. So Steve Wilton has called tonight, may have had to go to work, but however, we did see a cameo appearance there.
Yeah, great job. Always good to have Farmer around. He's a great man. I can tell you, in between races, there was a lot of conversation about track cuts. Vaughan, as you remember, at the end of that race, got a drive through on the last lap. Turn 1 is the culprit, so that's where everyone's getting these cuts. Is turn 1, so that's where we want to be watching.
Okay, so even with the amount of runoff that they're allowed to take, they're actually taking more. So they're going outside the safety grass.
Yeah, who would have thunk the racing drivers are getting greedy when it comes to track cuts?
I know.
Yeah, no shit, eh?
Yeah. So here, are we going to get? I so hope we're going to get this battle that we want to see. Ethan Cale wants it. Mitchie Campbell wants it. It'll be just who wants it more, and can Mitchie's internet connection be stable enough for him to take right here to Ethan Cale?
Yeah, well, he's clearly quicker than his internet connection because the dropouts he's been having for the past couple of weeks is really ruining his championship. He's run it to, the goal, isn't it?
Yeah, so keep an eye on Maddie too, because her pace was pretty hot. So if these two start getting into a little bit of a Barney and start throwing the elbows around, I'm pretty sure she'll be right there to pick up the pieces. So
for sure. Don't rule out Stu Aerosmith, and the other name you mentioned, I think earlier, was John McDonald. So Aerosmith back down the field a little bit from where he would like to be, as is McDonald. But both of those drivers would look to move forward. J-Man.
Yeah, and also one to think about as well is the 31 Aston Martin of Nathan Henderson qualified P6. Now, we saw Hendo get unstuck with a little bit of, I'm not going to say lap traffic, I'm just going to call it cars that are out of sequence when him and John Carter were coming through the field in race 1 and ended up facing the wrong way out of, I believe it was basically turn 1, between turn 1 and turn 2, and actually had to wait to let the field go through. So starting out of P6, expect big things from the 31 car, as I'll let the race start. Over to you there, Davo.
Thanks, mate. As we watch the boys roll down to complete their formation lap, I think we've got about 26 cars on track. Ethan Cale and Mitch Campbell rounding out the front row. And thanks again for everybody joining us here tonight for the 2024 ASRNZ GT3 series. Please click the like button if you like what you're seeing. Subscribe and light the chat box up, guys. We got a green light. And again, Ethan with the jump. Mitch holding that inside there. Matty T and Jordan Moss. T-Fam up the inside there. Hendo. And I think it's Fodado and Lucas R. Fodado around the outside. Lucas saying none of that. We've got Brad Robinson in the mix. Just
unbelievably, they all make it through 1 and 2.
Again.
Oh, Enright and Spence. Contact, turn 2.
Ouch. So good, super clean stuff. A little bit of elbows out in the back of the field there. But again, super clean start. Big field.
really great to see too after last week with the bad weather. You know, the 2 races, 2 super clean starts. We did give them a little bit of a dressing down before the start of the night and just say, you know, keep it clean lap 1. There's a little bit of contact back in the field.
Yes, that's Stu Arrowsmith, and I think it's Riley Price trying to go either side of Vaughan Martin.
Yeah.
Into Martinez there, and it just got a little bit awkward. 3 cars into 1 there. It's not going to work. As they run around to the final complex, the corners back. Round through this little funny little kink, left, right, left, should I say, and back up onto the hill before they drop into the final corner.
And Matty T going with Mitchie the start of this one. You mentioned that at the start of this proceeding there, Rusty, that, you know, watch for Matty T with all the pace there on Mitchie Campbell, and Ethan Carroll just stretching a little bit out, not a lot.
Martin behind. With just a gaggle of cars.
Moss under pressure here.
Hughesy with the drive-through. So I'm not sure how you're going to drive through in 1 lap. That must be a lot of track cuts or something else we've missed. Maybe a start infringement, not sure.
But quite possibly, J-Man. Is Moss under heaps of pressure from Fam.
Big, a lot of pressure there from T-Fam. And Fam wants to get through because he can see the gap that's forming behind Mossy and Matty T now.
Yeah, and he knows he can go with Matty T. He got second in front of her in the last race, so he knows he wants to just stay on that train.
Yeah, you don't want to lose track of the top 3 here because they are sprinting away.
Definitely.
And they're only half a second apart, the top 3. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5.
Hendo in a little bit of clear air there, but Lucas Saar, no clear air for him. He's got Shane Fudderdo, Brad Robertson, John Carter, Vaughan Martin, all tucked in behind him. Vaughan Martin actually is vulnerable to Stu Arrowsmith and Riley Price as well, but Vaughan looking at making a move there. Is that Robertson? A little bit loose in the Merc. I think that's Carter around.
Carter around the outside.
Nice work.
Turn 13.
Oh, and Arrowsmith down on the inside with Vaughan Martin.
Yeah, Riley Price going to go with 2. Vaughan Martin getting out of the early stop done, not happy with that set of tyres.
Nice. Mitch Campbell, Matty T.
Oh, T-Fam, Jordan Moss really, really wide. It's going to make T-Fam go to the inside. This will be a positional pass here.
He's got it done.
Oh, we might get a replay on that one.
And that brings Henderson into the front too.
Yeah, Hendo right in there.
So we should just pick up the battle between Moss there. Moss and T-Fam out of the final corner and the helicam there across the start-finish line and into 1. Fam with an awesome run. Moss had nothing.
No, just
still
ended
gets
up
it turned in.
Wide though.
And the McLaren easily taking advantage of that run wide.
Yeah, showing the nose, lots of pressure into 1. Put that element of doubt into the boss Moss head, I think, there, and just let that steering open up just that little bit too much.
That's all it takes.
See, the Porsche's a little bit like the Lexus. I can tell you that the first couple of laps, it just doesn't. It takes a while for the tyres to come to life. You've got to be really careful. I've been in the Lexus this season, and the Porsche's very similar. I've been told you've just got to be a little bit careful the first 2 or 3 laps, and then the tyres kind of light up. So, you know, that's not entirely unexpected. But Moss would be trying to stick with Fam here and hope that Fam can drag him up to the top 3. But they are streeting away.
And look how close. We'll just get out of the back.
Little bump for Brad Robinson on John Carter there, but that is a 5-way battle, and John Carter gets out of that. Sorry.
Yeah, so just looking over the rear winger, Ethan Cale, Mitch Campbell, and Matty T well in touch with the leader, Ethan Cale. The super soft sock might not have been the right choice here, so time will tell, ladies and gentlemen, as we watch this battle ensue.
See, it's interesting now. What do you do here if you're Matty T? See, I would be thinking, I just want to tuck in behind here, in behind Mitch. You don't want to fight him too hard because you're only going to lose ground to Ethan, aren't you?
Yep. Yeah, you wouldn't let Mitch do all the attacking, but looks like Matty might even have Mitch's
She's got a lot of
measure.
pace.
She's got the pace. She just looks like she ranged up on him here a little bit and maybe got out of it. Just not to challenge and let Mitch focus.
Can I give you a stat there?
Yes.
On Matty T in that battle? I can tell you now, 3 laps have been run. The best lap of the race for Mitchie was a 31.3. Best lap for Ethan Cale was a 31.6. Now, the best lap for Maddie T is unrecorded because she has not completed a lap without a track cut up until this point. So just think about that, the pace that she's running to stay with these two boys up the front. And
eventually, that
also
could come back and bite her, you know. So
100%.
Yeah.
What have you got to fight with at the back end if you're out of cuts? So just consider that, but also consider the fact that she's tucked up underneath the hot air of these two cars in front of her, and potentially running one set of tyres throughout this race.
For sure. Riley Price in the pits.
Yep. She also mentioned in between races that she wasn't sure how the Ferrari was going to go on tyres tonight as well. So there's a little bit of a question mark, but yeah, good point about the track cuts. You really want to keep a couple of them up your sleeve for those last few laps, don't you?
Yep.
As you mentioned, Pricey in the pit. Sean Hunter's in the pits also. Ashton Hughes, he is out of the pits. So first pit stop car that I can see on track, if my data is correct, would be Vaughan Martin over John Carter. Now, we saw these guys, Vaughan Martin was the first of the pit stoppers, and we saw John Carter get a little bit of a bump down into turn 14 from Brad Robinson, and it sent him wide out of 14, and he just very instinctively took the opportunity to just fire it down pit lane, because it was probably wide enough to be a track cut, and actually just shoot it down into pit lane and get that done. And now he is line astern with Vaughan Martin. That is the first two, although I can tell you now, Riley Price is going to play into that battle as well, because he is just coming out of pits. Where are they on track? Davo, they're already through on Pricey, so Pricey will be third official pit stopper at the moment.
Coming to you from pit lane, guys, I can tell you that Vaughan Martin and John Carter both elected not to take tyres. Riley Price has taken tyres.
Good work, Rusty. Good to keep up with what's going on out there, because obviously this is the last race of the night, and I believe probably the tyre bank is running pretty low now. Who is that? Stu Aerosmith in the lane, and that super quick Lexus down the chute, as we've heard all night. It is the fastest car in a straight line at the minute.
Well, I can tell you, race 2, that's not the case. The fastest car in race 2 so far is Brad Robertson in the Merc, 255 clicks.
Yes.
Good work. Now, Ethan Cale just braking just outside that 1 second barrier over Mitchie Campbell, and Mitchie Campbell cannot shake Maddie T off the back of his McLaren. She is right there, and she has got that Ferrari just fired up tonight.
Okay, I'm watching Aerosmith's pit crew here, guys, just to see what they're doing. We're up to 20 seconds. He pitted from just outside the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. So a big improvement from race 1. And it looks like he is taking tyres, guys. No, he's out. It's a slower stop, though. It's a 29-second stop. So maybe missed the pit box just by a fraction.
Okay, well, there you have it. And that can be what it takes. We talk about the 1%ers. So if the car's not quite lined up in the box, that can be the difference. And he's just come out just in front of Riley Price.
Yeah, like you said, J-Man, they are the 1%ers, and it's those little mistakes. That's why, well, definitely up in the comments box, we love this stuff as it all shakes out. Little tiny gains or losses to be made, or really big losses to be made. So, awesome stuff. Mitch Campbell, like we mentioned, just coming up on a little bit of lap traffic there through one.
Yeah, Phil Turner in the Iron Brew OES car there was just got out in the way there.
How about this from the top 3, guys, their last laps? Cale, 31.5. Campbell, 31.6. Maddie, 31.6.
Wow, there you go. T-Fam just tucked in after getting past Moss there.
With the fastest lap of the race, too, 31.4 for T-Fam.
There you go, and he's starting to push forward. He can see those guys. Is that Maddie T a little bit loose there into the left? And that's actually, she's a little bit of a gap there for Mitch Camp. Jordan Moss will be endeavouring to stay in touch with that. But look, the Porsche doesn't just look like it's got the mumbo. Nathan Henderson maybe starting to reel the KFP, Kentucky Fried Panda Porsche in there.
Yeah, and that number that you called too, Rusty, it's better than that. The actual fastest lap is actually a 31.020. So.
Oh, you're right too. It was his last lap that was a 31.4.
Best
lap 31.0.
Wow.
Yep.
Yes, so he was certainly the fastest guy out on track that last one, as you mentioned, though. So probably recognising the fact that he needs to get back in touch with that battle. And I believe probably that early battle that he had with Jordan Moss, and we saw that gap bridge out between lap 2 and 3. That's the difference that we're seeing out there on track now.
Stu Arrowsmith and Riley Price still hard at it, guys, in 24th and 25th. 2 of the early pit stopped cars, and still just really haven't changed for the pit stops. Well in touch with each other there. John McDonald and
if I'm not
Melling
mistaken,
also.
if I'm not mistaken, Vaughan Martin looks to be the first of the runners who has stopped. So
Yep.
That early stop has worked in his favour. Clearly, he's
Big,
in front of Carter,
big
and in front of
undercut.
Smith.
Yep.
Big undercut on, and what was effectively, was that the end of lap 1 or end of lap 2? It was somewhere around there. Hey, an interesting battle that you've been calling throughout the night too, Rusty, is the Phil Davison P15 over Neville Shields in P16 on track at the moment. Now, that Neville Shields battle coming into this round, obviously he was in first position for the AM class, and Phil Davison was in second outright. So that is a true fight for honours out there at the moment. And
well, it is, but Zach Hickford is spoiling the party for him. He's going for his first AM class win, if I'm not mistaken. So he's actually out in front of Phil Davidson. So he's ruining the party for both of the front runners in the championship here.
Yeah, doing a great job at it too. So he's getting amongst it. Once again, Matty T attacking Mitchie down to 1. That Ferrari's got some good straight line, Rusty.
Yeah, what is the straight line on the Ferrari? Let's have a quick look here. Let me pull up my stats, boys. Speed trap on the Ferrari. Matty is 200. It's 249, so it's 6 k's an hour slower than the Merc down to straight. You've got the Datsun at 254, the Aston Martin at 252, the Porsche at 247. So there you go. Yeah, the Ferrari 249.
So top of the tree says last lap around, Ethan Cale 31.5, 31.6 for Mitchie, 31.5 for Matty T, and once again fastest car on track 31.3 for T-Fam. So he is trying to bridge that gap back. Currently stands at 2.3 seconds off the back of Matty T. So T-Fam, with all the work to do, might as well stay out there at the moment, make the best of these tyres, because he's got some pace on board. Steve Melling in a pretty spirited battle too with the Warbird BMW of John McDonald. So that for P11, P12, that's a good little battle going on between a couple of old mates.
Yeah, those boys been inseparable actually for the last 10 laps pretty well since the race started. So, It's not even 10 laps. So
8 laps, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but those guys have been going hard at it. As we just, I think the cams are on Mitch Cole, Neville Shields, Kenny Simpson. And spirited battle going on there as well. But yeah, Steve Melling, John McDonald, J-Man, Melling actually matching McDonald's pace at the moment. So nice work from Steve-O. McDonald, no slouch. And nearly in the top 10. So, but he's got a little bit of work to do before he gets there.
The top 3 are absolutely pushing because they all invalidated the last lap. So they are going for it, the top 3.
There you go. Jordan Moss with plenty to think about as Nathan Henderson starts to apply the blowtorch.
Yeah, that Vaughan Martin car that we saw peel off very early is making the most of some fresh air. Has got John Carter tucked up and behind him, but you mentioned earlier, Rusty, that he was the leading car on track that had made his pit stop, and he's just out there consistently banking mid to low 32. So, okay, that one's a little bit higher, 32.9, which plays 32.4 for John Carter right behind him. So a little bit of a gap change there, but that's going to put that Ferrari, that 776 Martin's plastering Ferrari, in a good space, I think, once these pit stops shake out, as long as he doesn't end up in traffic, which is what we saw race 1 for some of the early stoppers.
Well, I tell you, if he can continue running low 32s, that's top 5, top 6 pace for Vaughan Martin. So he's absolutely flying out there.
Yep, flying and no traffic at the moment. As I just picked up on the Brad Robinson car, which you mentioned had serious straight line speed tucked up and behind the Datsun of Shane Fodado. and they come round, and Robinson through with the 32.2 against Fotodo's 32.7. So good little space of pace for Brad Robertson right there, currently running P7 and P8, Fotodo and Robinson. So that battle shaping up. It'll be first to blink and take the pit stops from those two.
It's a good slipstream tag team, isn't it? Those two, the Datsun and the Merc down the straight.
Merc, yeah.
I feel sorry for Saar coming up behind him because he's going to have no chance. He's just going to hang on to the back and hope to get a tow.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's like a flying cobblestone in the front, and then the vicious Smith in second. I think might punch a good hole in the air for Lucas Saar.
Fantastic.
So.
Yeah, that little gap definitely twos and fro's. Brad Robinson not looking comfy in the Merc there, down through Martinez there, actually. A little bit taily, just trying to keep his focus.
Front too, Evo. There's only 6/10 between the leader and the second, and then about 4/10 back to there. So that something's happening up the front where I think we might just see a little bit of tyre phasing going on here.
Yeah, definitely.
Fam is catching them too.
Yeah.
Look, if you look at it every single lap, if you look from the back of Matty's car, that McLaren of Fam is just getting closer and closer and closer. He's going to be right in at the end of this race.
The Kentucky Fried Panda, Jordan Moss, the boss car in the pit. Yes, and Ethan Cale now with Matty T and Mitch Campbell to think about very quickly. This has all changed just in the last couple of laps. We're sort of winding towards about half race, 22 and a half or odd minutes to go in this one, as we just see those two, Mitch Campbell in the McLaren, Matty T in the Ferrari, just fan out behind Ethan Cale's Lamborghini there. 3 different makes of cars here. So good spread of mark across the field. Really good BOP across the field at the moment with ATC. So nice stuff.
Down here in the pits, guys, it looks like Moss has taken tyres. He pitted from P5. It'll be interesting to see where he comes out relative to Vaughan Martin, who I think pitted from about P10 or P11. Fields with a drive-through as well.
Yeah, so and that was in that battle there with Phil Davison, so that's going to hurt.
Vaughan coming down the straight. It's going to be close.
So Moss out. Clear, I think, of
got a couple
Martin.
of seconds on him.
Yeah. So nice work. Geez, damn, you're quick on your feet, Rusty. Down into the pits. He runs down this stair so quickly. Ford Martin, very untidy. John Carter slips past there.
Got it done.
And definitely picked up the pieces there. Carter all over it.
Yeah, Brad Robinson's team asking for a really, really clean pit stop here as he was engaged in that battle with Fotodo and Lucas Saar behind. And I can tell you what, he was super accurate on the 50k mark, but he wasn't so accurate on the final stop in the pit box and sort of a little bit of a 2-step there. So it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out because he was engaged in a battle front and rearward. So team will be asking for a big stop here. Mitchy Campbell, super close, super close. Matty T running a little bit wide through the left-handed there.
Yeah. Look, those guys, all those 3 well in touch. I think Ethan made a slight mistake, which has put Campbell right behind, but Matty T also with a mistake. Just losing a few car lengths there. But
27-second stop for Robertson, did not take tyres.
Yeah, good work. It's pretty close to being bang on the money. If 25 is the optimum, he's only 2 seconds outside of the perfect stop, so not too bad. And we did see last lap around once again, T-Fam banking a 31.5 against Ethan Cale's 32.0. What have they got this time? Cale.
Damn, that Lamborghini. The Lamborghini of Ethan Cale's is quick in a straight line. He just gets off that final turn so neatly and really pulls a gap on Mitch Campbell. Matty C refocusing J-Man, and she really does have to stay on the back of Mitch Campbell. But I'm sure she can see in her mirrors the black and gold McLaren of T-Fam obviously sparring, like these guys spar all the time on track over at Rainline Racing. So she will be well aware, T-Fam, on his way to upset the apple cart. Nathan Henderson in the pits, J-Man.
Yeah, him and Enright and Greeny coming out as well. So there was a big flurry. Fodado currently on the jacks as well.
Yep, okay.
But Fodado looked like he may have been on there a little. Oh, hang on, no, he did come in with Brad. So
with the top three guys, it looks like it's going to be a game of chicken about, you know, who pits and when they pit, and are they gonna fly in one after another? Because it's such a close race, because they're so close, it's going to be super critical. 1 second will mean the difference going first to last. Yeah. So we know Ethan Cale's very good. Oh, look at this. Oh, I thought no, Maddie's in.
Oh, okay, stop go 30 for Nathan Henderson's got it wrong in the pit lane and is actually spared. Now, this is a smart play. We saw how much performance Vaughan Martin gained out of the undercut. I think this is a smart play from Maddie.
Yeah,
I think this will be a fuel only.
I think she had the pace on Mitch Campbell as well. So, although, you know, it didn't look like he was holding her up much, I think the Ferrari looked quicker. So, yeah, time will tell if she hits the marks properly there in the pit stop. J-Man and Rusty.
Watching live, keeping a close eye on it.
John McDonald, Steve Melling.
Oh,
this
that's
is
close.
tight. Into one.
Melling right in the fight here. Going to try and fire it down the inside, is he? Might have a big look. Ever the gentleman. Both these guys very, very clean races.
Oh, very, very clean races. I think that is Zach Hickford. Is that no, that is
31 second stop for Maddie, guys.
Grabbed a set of tyres, you think?
I think she might have done, yeah. So if the other two guys don't take tyres, she's got to find 5 seconds to get away back to that battle.
Yeah, well, it could come down to that pace, depending on what they've got left.
Brad Robertson, John Carter, and that is Hendo in the pits, in the background there.
Yeah, he's come to serve that stop-go 30, mate.
It's tough.
It is tough. Now, T-Fam's going to factor into all of this as well also. You know, we've seen the outright consistent pace. We see the 2 leaders come in the pits, and T-Fam comes in at the same time, so all 3 of them.
Now, this is what we expected, but Matty T included, wasn't it? That all these guys, they were so close together. Good call from Fam, I think, to come in with these guys.
I think net gain for Mitch Campbell there on the entry too. I think he just made up a little bit.
Yeah. It might only been a car length, but
you can always take advantage when you're following the car into the pits, because you can use them as your brake marker. You know, Ethan's the one that's got to have to test it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, just that for T-Fam, just pulling up there, having to go through Ethan Cale's car is very distracting, and don't expect his time to be the best out of the 3, I wouldn't think. So, Maddie T, where are you, Maddie T? She's coming around turn 13, about to drop into 14 now on a very, very good lap.
28 second stop for Matt Campbell.
Oh, Mitch
Campbell, pardon me. 27 for Ethan Cale.
3 seconds better for Mitchie, 5 seconds better for, okay, so.
And there's the difference on track, you can see it.
You can see it right there.
Yep. Okay, so so what have we got there? Matty T, so it's business as usual here.
Yeah, a little bit. So probably T-Fam net gain on Matty T there. If you look at them tip into...
yeah, definitely.
Tip into 2-3 here. He's very, very close now.
T-Fam was 3.1 seconds off the back of Matty T's rear bumper before that series of stops. His stop was 3 seconds faster, and you can see the gap right there.
Right there, yep.
So Melling's just left pits. He's just going to tuck out in behind Aaron Enright by the look of it. Remember that Steve Melling was in a very spirited battle with John McDonald, who's moved all his way up to P2 behind Lucas Sarr, who's currently leading the race unstopped. So the first 4 cars out on track, Lucas Sarr, John McDonald, Phil Davison and Zach Hickford, have not made the official stops.
And is that the Riley Price car actually just up in front of Enright? Yes, it is.
Yep. Nev Shields still hasn't pitted out a 10 as well. We saw something go wrong. I think it was a drive-through for Nev Shields earlier in the race, I believe. So will be recovering from this one. So really mixed bag of results up and down with the 1% infringements here tonight. The likes of Stu Arrowsmith having an incident race 1, Nev Shields now race 2. a few drive-throughs, stop-go 30 for Nathan Henderson. I think that, you know, if you read a race report at the end of it, it'd be pretty busy.
Davidson and Hickford have just both pitted guys, P1 and P2 in the AM class. Something must have happened to Hickford during this race because Davidson got his way in front of him. They're both in pit lane now. Yeah,
good work. Mitchie's still very much in touch after that pit stop with Ethan Cale as they run 3-4 effectively out on track. With the McDonald, Lucas pairing still to make their stop. So Mitchie's still very much in touch, but both those guys have dropped Matty T and T-Fam as they just rounded up Greeny's car there in the GA Aston Martin.
Yeah, and look, Mitch does look quite speedy. He did look really on point towards the end of that last stint. You gotta wonder what tyres they are on at the moment, don't you, J-Man? It'll be the last of the last out of the bank of tyres they've got. Is it fresh? Is it not? You just don't know.
I get nervous for Ethan Cale the way he's hitting that turn 12 into turn 13 curb on the exit, and it really upsets the back of that Lamborghini, and I feel like he'd be hanging on to that every time he does that.
In the N-Class, guys, just a bit of an update. So Kenny Simpson has leapfrogged both Zach Hickford and Phil Turner into pits. Zach Hickford's pit stop was 4 seconds slower than Phil Davidson. So Davidson, these guys are 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the N-Class. They are all on track, and they've got time to make up to each other.
Oh, Mitch Campbell with a little bit of contact on the back of Ethan Cale into one.
Yeah.
Puts him extremely wide. He would have easily got a track infringement there. So
T-Fam having a big look on Matty T now. Thinks he can sense opportunity here because there is around about 7 seconds up the road to Mitchie Campbell. So if he's going to do it, he's got to do it now. So this is effectively, once this all shakes out, this is for third on the podium, I believe. It'll be Ethan Cale, Mitchie Campbell.
It should be. Yep.
So should the positions remain the same, this would see Matty do a back-to-back podium, but I reckon there's a fair bit left in this.
Updating the Pro-Am, guys, it looks like we've lost Lucas Saar, if I'm not mistaken, so that would mean that Vaughan Martin is now running P1 in the Pro-Am, currently 11th on track.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, no, I'm mistaken. Lucas Saar, I didn't have it all the way up. He hasn't pitted yet. He's running P1.
Him and John McDonald have decided to play the long game here in this one. And John McDonald actually just changes that by coming into pit. So the Warbird in. Now the Warbird of John McDonald and that 27 car will be really factoring on where he comes out with Stephen Melling because they were engaged in a real dogfight there. Excuse the pun with that Warbird.
He's been in the trenches all night.
He sure has. Steve Melling got a mirror full of Tony Spence, who second round out. He is having a great run there in the Pro-Am class, battling against the 713 Match Fit Entertainment BMW of Steve Melling. So cool stuff happening out there at the moment. And we just see, as mentioned, the T-Fam Matty T battle is just going to go on. Almost feel like it's going to be a mistake that's going to change that because the pace is so similar.
The Warbird has taken tyres, an absolutely perfect 30-second stop for JB. That's what he does, isn't it? Every week. He nails that.
That's exactly what JB does.
And there he just gets rounded up on the inside by Spence, who's making a move on Melling, and Melling makes the move on McDonald. Melling doesn't want to give this up. He's going to try and make that car live around the outside. He needs to tuck it back down, otherwise he's going to be vulnerable here to the Warbird.
Right here, J-Man. He's got the rights to the next corner though, Rusty.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got it. We might get a replay of that actually. That was...
It's not done here. Well, it actually is. Steve gets the car down the apex. I'll let you take that replay over, Davo.
As we just pick up on John McDonald's car as he comes out of the pits now, Melling and the McLaren was side by side through one. John McDonald just trying to take advantage of that. Pokes it up on the inside there. Whoa, Melling was vulnerable, but to little avail.
Well, so this is interesting, guys, because if hit timers are correct, that means that JB is on fresh rubber and Melling is on old rubber. So he might have it at the end of this race to attack him.
Well, with under 10 minutes to go, Rusty, he'd want to be throwing everything he's got at it when he...
Oh yeah, absolutely. Can the Beamer hang on in front? Can the match fit Beamer hang on?
Yeah, that's a great performance there from Vaughan Martin as well. We mentioned about that early pit stop earlier. Currently running in P10. Still got Lucas Sarr to shake out of that pit stop. So depending on where Lucas Sarr comes out, what the margins are, we could see Vaughan Martin up as high as P9 with just under 10 minutes to run in this race. And I expect to see that Lucas Sarr car come in, that's a mouthful, very shortly.
Yep.
Because that car's starting to look a little bit loose.
Yeah, no. Vaughan Martin doing a stellar job. He's got Shane Faraday, John Carter, and I think that is the Brad Robinson Mercedes. It is just up the road. So he is well in touch up to 6th position. So, yeah, top drive from Vaughan Martin tonight in the Ferrari. And who's that? John Carter. Starting to give Brad the hurry up. Has he got down the inside here? He might have it. No. The grunt.
Yeah. It's going to be very close between Sarr and Martin in the Pro-Am battle because I'm just trying to figure out the gap, and I reckon he's got about a minute up his sleeve, and it is about a minute in pit lane here, so it's going to be very close.
Oh, Faraday just really
wide.
Brad Robertson wide.
Really wide. Wow, how that changed.
And Vaughan Martin's eyes will be lighting up at what he's seeing up the road in front of him because he's thinking, if you guys do a bit more of that, I'm going to
have at it, boys. Keep going.
So Carter's just like, see ya.
But I tell you what, if your maths are correct, Rusty, if Lucas Sarr doesn't play into the Vaughan Martin battle and he does a slightly better job, he's certainly going to play into the John Carter, Shane Faraday, Brad Robertson battle, and that
for sure
will be super spicy.
Yeah, he's going to be right in the middle of it, I think, right in the thick of this.
So Lucas Sarr in.
Okay. In the lane.
Vaughan Martin getting out of the road.
Just want to keep an eye on Lucas Sarr because it looked like he hit his pit limiter after the pit lane line, after the line there. So I'm a little bit suspicious of it. We'll have a look. He might be okay, but yeah, that always worries me when you're hitting the pit limiter after you go over the line. That's never a good sign normally.
No. Well, we'll watch with interest as he is up on the jacks at the moment. So where is the John Carter thing battle? Okay, so they are coming around, heading up to turn 12, kink across the right-hand dogleg here, up into 13.
So I was up to 25 seconds, 26, 27.
He's off the jacks.
He might be okay here.
He's coming down into the final corner here. Very close. He's got Lucas Sarr rolling out of the pits as we...
It's going to be tight.
And he's off. Clear the control line.
Comfortable. Well done, Lucas Sarr. That is a serious...
Oh, look at the gap. Look at the gap as we look over the rear wing of the McLaren.
See all that battling that these guys were doing. How many seconds do you reckon they lost to Lucas in that?
Oh, for sure.
Exactly. Yep. And I'll tell you what, look what's happened up the front. Ethan Cowell's caught lap traffic in the likes of Nathan Henderson after Hendo did that 30-second stop go. He's now just up in front of Ethan Cowell, and that is reinvigorated Mitchie Campbell on the back of that Lamborghini as Hendo just steps out the way, runs it out the high line, lets these boys go through because they are really close now. Up for second.
So winding down, a little over 5 minutes to go here in the ASRNZ-2024 GT3 Series 1. Here for round 3 at Valencia. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me obviously is J-Man, but yes, we got a special guest with Rusty Shackle for tonight. Please like and subscribe. Keep it in the chat box as we see Ethan Cale through one, Mitch Campbell deep under brakes. Faraday and Brad Robinson still flashing on my deltas.
Back a shot, I can tell you now, Nev Shields just didn't quite recognise that T-Fam was coming through with Matty T and went to pull back onto the race line. It was very nearly a 250 plus k an hour incident there, but just missed contact there with the 111 McLaren, so that was lucky.
So some close calls as we wind down here. Race 2, round 3, Valencia.
McDonald is all over the back of Melling at the moment, P14, 15.
Yeah, and Spence, once he made that pass on the inside of turn 1 on Melling, has checked out a bit too, Rusty, as you can see, just a little bit further up the road. And as you mentioned, Steve has got a lot to consider with the McDonald Warbird there coming at him with the potential of new tyres versus old, as you mentioned.
Correct. And in the AM class, just an update, Kenny Simpson is starting to put a little bit of pressure on Phil Davison for P1 in the AM class in race 2, guys.
Yeah, good old Simo. He's ever the gentleman, but he can get out there and race hard, as we know. Polar opposite to what he does on the weekend, isn't it, Dave-O? He's out there crashing and bashing in the stockies.
Yeah, well, that's why he was so good in the rain the other night. Because he's, you know...
McDonald might have Melling here. He's up the inside.
He's up the inside here.
Melling putting that way.
Melling knows where to stick that car. Oh, he's gone deep. They've both gone deep.
They've both gone deep. McDonald following him in there. And it's on. It's all gone down to the wire. This battle here. Frodo, Brad Robinson. Down across the start-finish straight.
Yeah, it's another good battle.
That's John Carter out in front in the Lamborghini. John got plenty to think about here. Frodo probably a little preoccupied with Brad Robinson's Mercedes badge all up in his grill there.
Looks like Ethan has just stepped away from Mitch Campbell just a touch. Got himself a little bit of breathing room. Delta's the gap's up to 9 tenths, pardon me.
Yeah, just not quite that second bracket, but that seems to be quite a big margin for these two tonight. If you get towards that second bracket, it's almost a fist pump moment.
Yep.
Matty T just clearing one of the lap cars. I think that may have been Mitchell Cole's car, actually, the beautifully painted Mercedes, and T-Fam just rounds him up as well. So,
yep. So those guys got a little bit of space between them now, haven't they, Jamie?
Fodero's on Carter. He's got him. They're rubbing. They're touching.
Oh, that's a spirited battle. And I'll tell you what, Brad Robinson's going to get him.
Robinson wants to go.
Beautiful move. He managed just to give him just enough space. Now, the Lamborghini got the favourable line, but he's going to have to give him space. Carter wicks it up on the exit. I think that'll be enough for that very, very quick Mercedes in a straight line to get the job done down to 1 here.
Yeah, he's done. He's through.
He's already through. That's a beautiful piece of driving.
So tough gig there for Carter. It all happened very quickly.
I can tell you what, there's a little bit of history there, because if you remember at the top end of the stream, I talked to you about Carter and Robinson having a bump, and one of them went into the pit lane. But look at what that's done to Vaughan Martin.
Carter's back up the inside of Robinson here, and this has inspired Vaughan Martin following behind, because he's right on the back of him too now.
And he's got the best seat in the house, mate. Look at this.
Oh, Martin with a little bit of a slip there.
Yeah, wicks it up on the exit.
Oh, Robinson's got all sorts of work to do. Carter very invigorated after that little pass. Losing a couple of positions. Vaughan Martin, he's got to think about Vaughan Martin now. He's vulnerable to the Ferrari.
And Vaughany's eyes would be as big as dinner plates right now.
They would
you know. But as he just tries to regain his composure as to where the leader is on the final lap. Brad Robinson looks like he's conceded a little bit as well to Fluttado. And just calm down a little bit. Everybody just chill. Matty T come up on my radar as they run across the start-finish line for the final lap.
Further up the field, guys, Lucas Sargis running his own race. He's got a nice gap either side. He is going to get a bag of points in the Pro-Am Championship tonight. 2 P6s.
And just another note. Oh, Jesus, we just see Riley Price sneak past Stu Arrowsmith in the final corner.
Okay, we did, yeah.
As they start the final lap. So nice work from Riley there.
Look at the
This winds up.
It's on. Riley goes wide. They're going too wide.
Oh, there's a bit of yellow on the blue and a blue on the yellow.
Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. And it's on. Price all over the back of the duff here. Lexi, the Tokyo Taxi.
As Ethan Carl rounds out 13, heading into 14, is going to take another victory. Mitchie Campbell pushing very, very hard. Actually had a little run off there, but that will be all she wrote. The order will be Ethan Carl over Mitchie Campbell, and then Matty T-Fam, as you were with that battle, Davo.
Oh,
Spencer's joined the battle too
Spencer's
between
all
Price and
over it.
Aerosmith.
And we'll get out of Spencer's car, actually, as he goes
He's
down the
got
inside of both of them.
Oh, he loses it. He sent it. He didn't even look at the stamp.
Oh,
So,
he went for the double
Bryce.
up and ended up with nothing.
Price, yeah, penthouse and shit house there. One corner, one braking area.
Yeah,
But,
big time.
Riley Price draws the long straw here in that battle. Boys, as we see Ethan Cale, Mitch Campbell, Matty T-Fam, Jordan Moss across the line, Lucas Saar, Shane Fudado, Brad Robinson, John Carter, Vaughan Martin with an
JB with a
awesome
sniff here on Melling as well, just as they go into the last turn.
Riley Price.
Oh, big sniff too. What's going on here?
Melling will pick up on this one.
I think he missed a gear.
Something's going on here.
No. What's going on there? They're both sandbagging.
Oh no, that was supposed to be the photo finish for.
Oh, that was the photo finish for the. Yep, sweet
for the match
as. Look at those boys. So Riley Price, Stu Aerosmith, Tony Spence, tough gig. He was right in behind that. Steve Melling, John McDonald, Aaron Enright, Aston Hughes in the Aston, Phil Davison, Kenny Simpson, Phil Turner, Zach Hickford, Nathan Henderson, Nev Shields. Who else have we got there? Scott Rivers, Mitch Cole, and Darren Green. Rounding out the field, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, what a great run, and we will start this podium off with back-to-back podiums here for Matty T, guys. I shall grab Matty T up to the channel and grab her on comms. You got us on comms, Matty?
Yeah, hey guys.
You got the twofer, mate. Back-to-back podiums here. ASRNZ on your first appearance, and just a phenomenal drive, Matty. Talk to us about that battle you had there with T-Fam.
Yeah, he always seems to turn up. Stresses me out, sitting right behind me. Yeah, I don't know. His pace was just really good today. He was chasing me down for a while there. I think he would make a mistake and I get a bit of a gap, and then I'd make a bit of a mistake and he'd come back. So.
And how's the pace at the start of that one? I really felt like you had the pace to go with Mitchie and Ethan there, and you know, we're just waiting for the mistake because the pace was so similar, Matty.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that came from. I wasn't sure if Ethan was backing him up a little bit. But
Okay.
I'm
the
not
times
sure.
were good. The times were really good from all of you, to be honest, for that phase of the race, because obviously T-Fam got caught up behind Mossy at the start of that one, and the top three actually broke away. And during that phase, you guys were going at it. T-Fam was the quickest car on track consistently during that phase when you were engaged in that three-way battle there. But nonetheless, the pace was super, super hot in the quali. We saw you punch out that 30.8 pretty early in that quali too, which was an impressive time. And then to back up that great performance for back-to-back podiums, Matty, you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, super happy. Can't ask for much more, really.
Cool. And so we're likely to see you again next Thursday, Matty, hopefully.
Yeah, that's the plan. What are we going to, Coda? Coda?
I think
good question.
Well, you've caught us out there, Matty. We should know. We should know, but it does sound familiar. So hey, look, all the best on that one. Do really appreciate seeing you over here at ASRNZ and banking two solid results. So look, couple of rounds gone by, but that's going to see you bank a whole haul of points for that one. So well done, Matty.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good job on the night as well. Always appreciate your commentary.
You're welcome. Thanks,
Thank
Matty.
you.
See ya.
See ya. All right, so there you go, Matty T.
Matty T, everyone. Yes, J-Man, who the next man. This guy should have been on the podium last race, really, shouldn't he? So let's get him up here.
So many times, but I mean, we finally got the battle that we've been asking for. His internet actually played the part that one.
Well, his internet kept up with his lap times and his
pretty much. I mean, I know it's a hard ask because he's always going so fast. But Mitchie, you got us on comms, mate.
I do, fellas. How are we?
Mate,
good.
condolences for race 1, but certainly what a spectacle in race 2. You, Ethan, Carl, and Madison T out there just doing the finest laps, mate. How was that?
That was, oh mate, you should see me. I'm sweaty as that was hard work. And then
Yep.
yeah, battled COVID actually in the beginning of the week. So not 100%, but I'm 90%. But yeah, that was tough. That was but it felt good though to keep up with Ethan. He's a fast guy, so made some changes with the tire pressures. I knew race 1 they were off and disconnected obviously, so that was done. So yeah, race 2 was just a clean slate, did a really good quali, and then it was just all in for race 2, and I was quite happy to just be with Ethan honestly for the whole race. That was just it was good fun.
And did you feel the pressure from Matty T at the start of that one? Because the three of you were particularly close.
Yeah, she gave me a little tap on lap 1, 2. Ethan got a little bit of a gap, but yeah, mate, she's quick. So I think she pitted, me and Ethan pitted maybe a lap 2 or later. I think we had pretty quick stops, so I think we gapped a little bit there, and so that that once she ducked in, that took a lot of the pressure off. I could just eyes forward. And yeah, just lap after lap, just battled it out with Ethan. I didn't have enough for getting past him. I think there was probably a small window of a couple of laps where I probably could. He was kind of sliding all over the place, but yeah, I couldn't capitalize. So credit to him for holding me off. But no, that was probably the funnest race I've probably almost ever had, I reckon.
Yeah, no,
Awesome.
it certainly looked pretty entertaining, mate. And a little scary moment on the last lap coming through 12, heading into 13, just a little bit curb there, mate. And, thought
I don't
you just
know.
gave us a little bit of a fright there, but
Oh,
nonetheless,
mate.
yeah.
I was just too greedy. I think I was like, oh, I'll try and bring that gap down, and then yeah, probably had the hairiest moment of the race. I almost cleaned up Ethan actually turn 1 towards the back, probably the back third of the race.
Yep.
Almost
Yeah,
punted him.
Davo picked up on that one, Mitchie.
Oh, that was a bit of a heart in the mouth moment, but fortunately didn't touch. But no, just a really, all things considered, a really clean race, I think. So yeah, pretty happy.
Well, we're happy you're happy, mate. So look, at the end of the day, any night's a good night when you go out there and you battle that close for P1 and P2. So well done, Mitchie, and I really do hope that internet stays stable for you, mate, because when you are out there on track and your internet's as fast as you are, we get entertained. So congrats on that one, mate, and
thanks, boys.
Look forward to catching up next week, buddy.
Yep, catch you, boys.
See you, mate.
Thanks, mate. Mitch Campbell, everyone. And last but not least, J-Man.
Yeah, as Mr. Ethan Carr once again backs it up. So this is effectively 6 on the trot over 3 rounds. Obviously, we had a sprint round, a triple header, and then another 2. Actually, it's probably 7, is it? If my maths is correct.
Oh, the best, something like that. Hey,
yeah, but who's counting?
Yeah, Ethan, you got the battle you were asking for that one, and I tell you what, it was pretty intense from sitting up here watching the first third to half of the race between yourself, Mitchie Campbell, and Matty T in the battle as well. So it was really cool, mate.
Yeah, a bit of a different race, I guess you could say. Opted for a bit of a different strategy. So used my third set of fresh tyres in the qualifying to get that track position, and just ended up using. So I came in early just to kind of preserve them, and I guess it didn't really pay off to, I guess, the extent I was hoping, but I was able to hold on.
Yeah, and look, we sent our roving reporter Rusty Shackelford out early in the piece, and he did pass mention that you had the super soft socks on for the quali on that one, which managed to bank a pretty quick time. And then we wondered whether the super soft socks weren't quite working for you in the opening stanza, because it was a lot closer than we're used to seeing. But nonetheless, it was bloody entertaining.
Yeah, man, I got like 4 pairs sitting here. I was had to go out in practice and just make sure that I could fix the slipping problem. And I think I'm wearing 2 pairs at the moment to stop that, and that didn't really work. So yeah, the calf is kind of gone into the knee now, so it's all just all over the shop. But no, mate, yeah, we got the right pair of socks in the end.
Yeah, well, you can't blame it on the socks, really, can you?
No, I can't. I'll blame it on the slippery pedal, eh?
Hey, look, you like I mentioned, you've got X amount on the trot now. It's looking good. Although I feel like based on that, you're starting to get a little bit of competition. I think competition's healthy. I know you'll enjoy it. You're a racer's racer, so as long as you keep banking the W's, mate. You're doing the right thing, but nice to have a bit of company. I know you wanted that battle with Mitchie. You got it. You came out the right side of the ledger. And shit, mate, we are entertained and can't wait to see what happens next week because, yeah, I feel like this thing's heating up.
Yeah, it was a good race. I mean, yeah, he definitely had a bit of pace tonight, and we're definitely looking forward to it. So looking forward to Zolder as well. Love that track heaps, and the Lambo's just a dream there. So looking forward to hopefully extending the streak, but obviously still having good racing as well.
Yeah, nice. So based on what you're saying then, is Coda's next up, I believe, Enduro round?
That's
Is
right.
it Coda?
Yep.
Okay. So I
Yep,
thought it
and-
was Zolder. So if it's Coda, then
Yeah.
Zolder, yeah, no. Put a line through it. I'm no good here.
and it's an enduro too at that. And
Yeah.
you know, we mentioned during the broadcast how good the OES team is at running long in enduros and so to speak. So I suspect that team will come out punching big numbers again at Coda, whether you like it or not. You guys always seem to end up somewhere the pointy end. So we're really looking forward to that one. And congratulations on tonight, Ethan. Another outstanding performance.
Yeah,
Definitely.
cheers, mate. Hopefully we bring a strong showing. We pride ourselves on our endurance racing when we're not in other people's crashes. So yeah, should be good fun. And hopefully if the Lambo doesn't quite bring what I need it to, someone else can step up.
Awesome.
Awesome stuff.
Sweet.
Thanks.
Cheers, boys.
Ethan
Have a good
Cowell.
night. Thanks again.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Ethan.
All right, so there you go. That is Ethan Cowell from first position there. What a great night with my two fellow commentators, Davo, Rusty. That was just absolutely epic calls. Great pit work, Rusty. Great camera work and comms, Davo. I'll let you guys wrap this one up.
Oh, it was fantastic, guys. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. It was fantastic racing, wasn't it? All the way down the field. We saw some epic battles tonight. You know, the Pro-Am class, the Am class. So just a reminder, if you're out there and you happen to catch this, if you're looking for a league to get involved in, this is the place you want to come. We cater to, you know, we've got super fast guys like Ethan you saw tonight, just absolutely blitzing them. But you'll always find someone to race with, and you're guaranteed good battles and a good bunch of people as well. So, you know, don't hesitate. If you're watching, jump in, get involved.
That's it. Click the links to ASRNZ Discord in the description. Click the likes and the subscribe. Click all the buttons, guys. Click everything and just get amongst it.
Every button.
Everything you can see on screen at the moment. Look, it's been a pleasure. Of course, J-Man, as usual, and Rusty for joining us here tonight. Been a great addition, my friend. But we will wrap it up. That was round 3 in the 2024 ASRNZ GT3 Series 1 at Valencia. It's been epic. Big field, awesome racing, great hanging out with you boys. We're going to be at COTA, Circuit of the Americas, next week for a little bit of a mini enduro, 80 minutes. Join in, everybody. Like I said, click the buttons, and we'll see you next week.